What is going on, everybody? It is episode 465 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I am here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Today is just going to be a two-person show. I wasn't going to mention it at first, but in the interest of transparency, we had a guest fall through on us. No hard feelings there, but you know, it's fine. We do well on our own.
Somebody said, thanks, Miami, in the chat. No, it wasn't Miami.
No, not their fault.
No, it's not their fault over there, guys. Before we get started, would you please hit the like button on this video? Would you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Turn the notification bell on so that you can be notified anytime one of these episodes or segments goes live. Thank you very much for that. And remember to share the video with your friends, and that all Super Chats, $20 and over, we will stop the discussion. We will read it right then and there, much like the one we just got from Jon Stewart. Do you have that one there, or should I read it?
I don't have it.
Okay, I got it. It's going to be behind schedule again today, I can tell. Hi, Brett. Hi, Mary. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. The gaslighting is not appreciated, my friend. It is not appreciated at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's going to be the same thing as yesterday, so it looks like the Super Chat, the function, the automated system is going to take some time to catch up, but I did catch that one from Jon Stewart, so thank you there, John. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. The first thing we're going to talk about is this fantastic conspiracy theory that has been going around. It was first talked about by Laura Loomer earlier in the week that Taylor Swift is a political operative who is going to run for the White House because she's
about to seize control of the White House.
She's taking over the government, ladies and gentlemen. They've got some interesting reasoning behind all of this. The better concept is that she's a political operative hired by George Soros. It's fantastic. I love this stuff. Do I believe it? No.
But it's possible. If she wanted to run, she could run. And if she won, then she would be able to get inaugurated.
So we'll talk
narrowly
about it. Yeah. Also, guys, we're going to talk about Arnie. And he did an interview with Howard Stern in which he basically says that we're raising a generation of wimps. He's calling out Gen Z as wimps. It's actually more nuanced than that, but it's an interesting discussion. It felt like he was running for office, if I'm being completely honest, when I was reading this thing, the way he's talking. He's giving an old school 80s pull yourself up by the bootstraps thing that would have been right at home back then. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Kanye West, who has been accused of controlling. He's gotten his hooks into his own wife, Bianca Censori, in which this person who claims to be a friend of Bianca's said that he controls every aspect of her life. But he's also started a used company, so we're gonna talk about that as well, right? That was what it was, a used company.
Yeah, he's filed for trademark of the term "use," as in Jews, but with a Y. Sure, that's not anti-Semitic at all.
Yeah, he's not acting right. So we're gonna get into all of that. Also, what the hell is this fourth story that you found? Because it's insane.
Yeah, so there was this girl that recorded herself on a first date. We're not even sure if this is real, but it was so bad that you're almost thinking like this has got to be a psyop. She went on a date with a guy who praises Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan, and Jordan Peterson, and wrote a rap song about her called Snow Bunny Hunter.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to be getting into a bunch of other stuff. If you're ready, Mary, since the guest is not here, thank you.
Is the chair ready?
The chair looks generally ready. That chair looks relaxed and ready. If you're ready, we'll just get right into it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, the show Suits is a psyop. It still is, because it has set a streaming chart record for most weeks at #1. Again, this show went off the air in 2019. And it says the former USA show, which streams on Netflix and Peacock, that also helps it because it's streaming on 2 platforms, spent its 12th consecutive week at the top of the Nielsen rankings, which go back 3 years. It had 2.36 billion minutes viewed for the week of September 4th through the 10th. What if we got what if it was a Taylor Swift and Meghan Markle ticket?
Oh, but wait, okay. Is Meghan Markle allowed to?
I think she's allowed. Yeah, she's allowed. She's an American citizen.
Even though she was part of the royal family at one point?
We don't want them even those faux British in our government.
I don't trust it. But the second one on the list is called Virgin River on Netflix. Tell us if you have ever watched this or heard of this before, because I had never heard of the show in real life.
Anybody in the chat, have you heard of a show called Virgin River on Netflix?
The second show on all of streaming.
Yep. I had never heard of it. I might actually, look, it's a drama and romance show, so it's not exactly my wheelhouse, but maybe I'll check it out over the weekend.
Is this just what turns on autoplay when you fall asleep?
No, I think this is the power of white women with streaming services. This is what I think this is. I think this is your Hallmark.
Power of Hallmark.
This is your Hallmark demographic filling in right here. It does have Tim Matheson in it, who I'm a huge fan of. I do love Tim Matheson as both a director and as an actor. He played Larry on Burn Notice. He played an evil character named an evil spy named Larry. But yeah, I've never heard of it in my entire life, and it's number 2. But one thing that's funny, if you look at this list, the money is still, ladies and gentlemen, in network television. Look at most of these shows that are on this list.
Yeah.
The Big Bang Theory, NCIS, Grey's Anatomy, SWAT. And then you've got One Piece and Virgin River, but One Piece will be on there for a couple of weeks, and it's a big deal right now, but eventually it'll go, just like Wednesday went, just like Dahmer went, and NCIS, which is always up there in that 5, 6, 7, 8 slot, will remain.
I'm surprised that Only Murders in the Building was on the
No, that show's been getting a lot of press lately. I also see on this list a couple of interesting ones. The Little Mermaid is running up at the top of the movies at 1.37 billion minutes streamed. So maybe the thing is just that people just don't want to go to the theaters. Like,
they're scared of COVID.
They're still very scared of contracting COVID, and COVID with fake water around you would be even worse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I felt sick all week. Maybe that's maybe they're right.
Of course, Cocomelon is also on the list, though. I'm scared for Gen Alpha.
Oh yeah,
I really am.
Oh yeah. So there's
what is that?
I don't know.
Why did that happen earlier this week too?
It did. I don't know what that was from, but I think that might have been.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, guys, it's just interesting that Suits is still up there, which is crazy.
Yeah, I watched the pilot and I couldn't even get through that because it was so boring. But maybe it just isn't strong at first.
It's just I love that pilot episode. He meets him at the hotel, and then the whole premise is ridiculous, but I love it. Like the idea that like you just happen to have all this knowledge, but you got kicked out of law school. I love it. All right, guys. Speaking of fearful for Gen Alpha, Mary.
Yeah.
This is an article from the New York Post that I thought was really, really funny. I wanted to talk about it yesterday. We decided to save it.
There's a cottage industry
It's a cottage industry of rent-a-moms for Gen Z college kids. So anybody here that's Gen Z, or if in this case maybe you have children that are going off to college, you can pay someone $10,000 to cook, do laundry, and of course bail them out of jail. You know, DUIs, DWI, drunken public. Right?
Is Gen Z even driving or drinking or going out in public enough to end up in jail for a DUI?
I think so. I look, when you go like who is it, like I still see like there's a singer named Charlie on a Friday who does all these campus concerts, and you still see there's still plenty of people that go and party and do that stuff. It's not as rare as you'd think.
Okay, the cooking part is confusing because in college all of your food is provided for you anyway.
Maybe they don't want to eat school food. Maybe they feel like they're too good for school food.
I don't know about everyone else, but like the school food I was given was like really good.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had.
It's no public school cafeteria.
My public school in Woodbury, we had like two lines. You had like the regular line, right, where you got like, and then you had a la carte, which was like not like you could get Papa John's pizza in the a la carte.
Yeah, there were restaurants at my university when I went there for like a semester. You had a Chick-fil-A on campus, Starbucks on campus, like all of it.
I gotta find
which is kind of crazy that you're expected to live that way. You just can never leave campus for 4 years straight. Like that's not really a way that you prepare people for adulthood.
No. Hold on, I gotta find this video.
It's just infantilizing.
There was this video of this guy. Yeah, this. Hold on.
just opened and the campus puts most universities to shame. It's in Prosper, Texas, one of the richest cities in the US, so you know it's going to be good. High school sports have always been big in Texas, but Walnut Grove has taken it to a whole different level. Their football stadium is massive, but they also have an indoor practice field as well as a giant baseball stadium. Their basketball arena seats over 2,200 people. They also have their own studio where students can take part in various sports programming. If sports aren't your thing, they have programs for journalism, fashion, culinary arts, fine arts, forensic science, medical tech, esports, and so much more. All while their mall-style food court has any fast food you could possibly imagine.
How much is tuition?
I don't know. Private school in Prosper, Texas, which is apparently one of the richest communities.
It's a very fitting name.
Yeah, very, very fitting. So maybe that's where the rent-a-moms will go. The rent-a-moms will be rented out by the parents who send their kids to this high school when they have to go to school at Arizona State.
That's insane.
Because
I always went to schools that never had cafeterias. Sometimes never had gyms.
Really? No cafeteria?
No, I did not go to a school that had a cafeteria.
Where the hell did you eat?
Outside or in classrooms.
Okay.
Just in any common area.
I at least at a cafeteria at my school. It says, for their money, parents can depend on their away from home offspring receiving regular food deliveries, academic assistance, beauty and spa appointment bookings, aid in making dinner reservations. Like, they can't even make their own dinner reservations.
Why would they need to make dinner reservations?
It's basically an assistant. This is a lot like when people talk about like, we need to like take back this country, and they're like, you won't even order a pizza over the phone. Like, you're not taking back shit.
We're gonna get more into this when we talk about Arnold's comments later.
Yeah.
So keep this in mind.
Also, what was it? You said that there was a woman that won the first ever makeup-free beauty pageant?
Yeah, I saw this and I was interested in your reaction because you think this is a stupid idea.
Yes, let them cake on the makeup.
Make them
fake.
Yeah, you're pro fakeness in beauty pageants.
As far as I'm concerned, that's part of the skill set. Like, who can afford to develop the right contacts and pay for the right beauty consultant?
I mean, you don't know the level of effort these girls are putting into looking good without makeup either. They're probably
physically, I would like them to be in fantastic physical shape, the things that makeup can't hide. But as far as I'm concerned, your face, do whatever you want to. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. They all look pretty good without makeup.
Yep, they do. And what's funny is
I just don't know about the premise.
There was a big thing. No. What did you say? You said, like, if this happened to you, like, if you
if I were going into a makeup-free beauty pageant, I would be doing things beforehand to prepare for it. I would be getting my eyelashes lifted and tinted. I would probably get my eyebrows tinted and whatever, like skin treatments, all sorts of things, so that I would look my best. I'm sure it's no different for these girls.
So we're saying there's no makeup on here. There's no eyeshadow. There's nothing.
The rule. I don't know if you can get caught breaking the rule if it's subtle enough, but at least I see that they're wearing lip gloss, but that doesn't really count, right?
Your lip does not do that naturally, lady. You cheated. That'd be a great scandal movie. That movie will get made one day. She
cheated the no makeup pageant by wearing lip gloss.
Or what they'll do is they'll use stuff that's not actually makeup, right? Like, is there something that could add like color to your cheeks that's not technically makeup? So
slapping yourself.
There you go. You go backstage and they're all slapping each other to help each other out.
They do the Kylie Jenner lip challenge.
Yes.
Backstage. Do you remember that?
No.
People would take a shot glass or a vacuum or something.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And just bruise their lips to give themselves temporary lip injections.
That sounds horrible. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, behind, like, because they all have like pageant consultants, right? Backstage, right before they go live, they're all like, okay, do it. And they just get the shit slapped out of them so that they can have rosy red cheeks out on the... Like, in one of them will go too far and we'll have a black and blue face and it'll be bad. It'll be just like Trevor Bauer all over again where the bruises show up too late.
I agree with you. I like the fake done up look that you usually see at beauty pageants. Just keep the men out of the running, you know?
Exactly. Well, yeah, in the chat, Dustin says, show me the bikini on Brett. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm not doing that.
No.
I wouldn't want to put you to shame. You know how it is. Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and it goes along with like what happened with like Pamela Anderson, who
I saw her getting trashed, and I just don't think it's fair. She's 56 years old. She decides to go to an event without makeup on. And
if it wasn't such a blatant...
People are tweeting about it like, oh, what happened to her? Like,
if it wasn't such a blatant virtue signal, I would be with you on board, but it's a blatant virtue signal. I'm sorry, but it looked like somebody photoshopped a second forehead on her here.
Okay, Pamela Anderson isn't the pinnacle of realness and natural beauty to begin with. Yeah. But maybe it's just that she's tired of being fake.
Could be.
And is going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I just don't... She's been through enough, okay?
Yeah.
She's been through enough. She doesn't deserve to get made fun of.
To me, it's just a transparent virtue signal. Anytime one of these people do this...
It's other people that are virtue signaling about it, though.
It's in the same realm as like when a woman turns 60 and they're like, I want to pose nude on a calendar. I'm like, why would you subject the rest of us to your midlife crisis?
Which, like, if you look good at 60, that's cool, but doesn't mean that you need to, put that image out there for everyone to see.
I mean, you don't think she's technically kind of virtue signaling just by choosing to do it at all?
I don't think that it should be politicized that much, whether or not a woman wears makeup.
All right. All right. Did anybody here get your... Did your phone go off at...
It did. Both of ours went off at the same time.
At 2:18, though.
Yeah, not at 2:20.
2:20. Well, unfortunately, for some very, very naughty Amish people, they were outed as having cell phones by the government. Typical government overreach.
I mean, everyone knows that Amish people cheat on the technology rules, because how else? They use e-commerce all the time. Come on.
I always figured they had a friend who had a computer who's...
A lot of them have cars. A lot of them...
Is this true?
It's true. It is true.
Is this true? Is it true, guys? In the chat, let me know. Do Amish people drive cars? I thought they drove the horse and the buggy.
Well, I mean, they're supposed to, but I know that a lot of them break the rules because they need to sell their wares,
in town. Well, actually, like there's a great video, and it's absolutely true. It's just like somebody being put through a table where they get body slammed through a table, and they just break the table. Getting put through like an Amish table and just doesn't break, and your back breaks because they're made so well.
Yeah.
Here's this video from
why is there an ex-Amish TikToker?
That's his. He's found his.
That's his niche.
It's his niche. Here we go.
What just got a couple of my Amish buddies shunned today by the Amish church. That's right. This right here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play the sound.
Over the years, there's been quite a few Amish men that reached out and wanted phones. So whenever they request to have a phone, I'll do everything I can to try to get them a phone. Not
he
always
helps
can
the
I do
Amish
so,
cheat.
but in some...
It's the Underground Railroad of...
There have been girls that say they live in... I mean, there are a lot of Amish in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
Specifically. There are girls in Pennsylvania that have met up with Amish guys from Tinder. There are Amish guys with secret phones, with secret data plans, and they go on Tinder.
How do they charge it?
In secret.
How the hell do they charge the phone?
They find a way. I don't know. They have one power socket in the house.
Chat, tell me, how the hell does an Amish person charge their phone? I need to know.
Is it
do
they eat hot chip and lie too?
Like the lemons to power like a boombox?
I don't know. Solar power.
Solar power?
But they go on Tinder and they meet up with these dudes from Amish country.
Yeah.
Who are keeping it from their families.
So what, were they corrupted on Rumspringa?
Maybe.
That's their first experience with a phone was when they're
always
out.
Seemed like the weirdest part of their ideology to me is Rumspringa.
It's a loyalty test, basically.
But the point of it is to just throw yourself into as many degenerate activities as possible.
And decide whether you're going to come back to the faith, right?
I don't understand that at all, but keep playing the video.
Okay, here we go.
Some circumstances, I have been able to get them a phone. Now, 3 of them replied back to me today and said, hey, I'm going to have to lay low for a while. I just got shunned. And I said, how'd that happen? They said, hey, that emergency alert.
This guy is great. This guy's got great delivery.
A good storyteller.
Went off. Yeah, we had our phones on vibrate, and it still went off. The one
Yeah.
guy said the elders were coming in his driveway and they were there to speak with him about something that they heard about him, that he might have to get shunned, you know. They got to check up on it to see if it's true. Right when that was going on, the alert went off and he was in his pocket. Now he's getting shunned for both, whatever they were after to shun him and also the cell phone.
Well, that's not nice. You shouldn't
He's
laugh at
gloating
them.
about it.
He's like,
Well, they can just become Mennonites. Mennonites are allowed to have phones.
okay. Like, I love this.
Mennonites use technology.
Like, if anybody in the chat hasn't watched the show Banshee, the show Banshee has a theme around it that has a lot to do with the outskirts of the Amish community. I recommend everyone check it out. But this guy is like my new favorite person on social media. I want to hang out with this guy.
We should invite him on the show.
You know, I mean, it's kind of similar. Like, I mean, it wasn't a problem when I was in school, but I imagine there are plenty of kids who had phones at a time. Like, when I was young, you couldn't have a cell phone in school. Like, you weren't supposed to bring your phone into class with you.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same for me. What's different
Do you
now?
want to know how old I am, Mary? Okay. So when I was in ninth or 10th grade, I was at an age where like texting was so new, was so uncommon that kids would just text each other the answers to test questions, and teachers would have no idea what was going on.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Get that back.
Get your answers.
I think that the longer someone went in life without getting a smartphone, or before getting a smartphone, the more mentally healthy they can be.
The what?
The smartphone, specifically.
Say that again, but
like the longer they went in life before
absolutely.
getting a smartphone. Like if they were the hipster that waited until like 2013 to get a smartphone, probably more mentally healthy than the rest of us.
I mean, mine was like an iPhone 3. The 3G was the first one I got, and it was. I mean, the internet sucked on it anyways, so it's not like you were, you know, like if you were on it. Like I was told there's this great golden period before, because now like unlimited data plans are the norm.
Yeah.
You know, like almost all plans have unlimited data. Well, there was a time where I had unlimited data, but then they got rid of it because they realized at the time that we weren't so reliant on the internet yet. But at the same time, everybody wanted the internet on their phones. So you started with unlimited internet, and you had to pay for your minutes in your texts, unless it was after 9 p.m. or 7 p.m. But then it switched, and then it became, now you have unlimited text in minutes, but you have to pay for your internet. And I was grandfathered into the unlimited internet plan, so I had to keep buying phones so that I wouldn't lose that plan, because they took the plan away, but they couldn't get rid of it off my phone. Like, they couldn't take it away from me who had it, but they wouldn't give it to new people.
Yeah.
It was good times.
You got in at the right time.
Yep. Also, guys, imagine is this like a nightmare that people have? I imagine there's men that have nightmares about running into a room with all their exes.
I'm sure Leonardo DiCaprio has so many exes that it's already happened to him. He's in Paris at the same time as 9 of his past and present love interests. I think that he might be to blame for the fact that they have a raging bedbug epidemic going on in Paris.
9
It's likely
women.
to spread globally, but
as all the women from various countries take off on their private jets in different directions.
He's the source.
Yeah.
He's spreading bedbugs they're saying it's in the airports, it's in the movie theaters, there's subways, everything. It's taking over Paris.
All because Leonardo can't have sex with a woman in her 30s, and he's got to keep trading up.
I mean, yeah, I don't really understand why he's there anyway. He doesn't live there, right?
Well, he's scouting for next year.
Oh, really?
Likely, right? Like he's got to find a new girl by next year. So he's like, all right, I got to go to the fashion shows to find them.
So he's still with the same girl, Vittoria Caretti. I don't really know how to say her name. And I remember they asked her father for comment on what he thinks of their relationship. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I just told her to have fun and enjoy it while it lasts. Like, imagine saying that about your daughter.
He's tacitly saying you're not good enough to get him down.
Yeah, that's crazy to say out loud.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts, because he's going to get bored of you quick.
Age comes for us all, lady. Sorry, nothing's gonna happen. But I imagine that men that are like players have a nightmare or two about walking into a room with all the women they've ever been with. in there, and Leonardo's that room for Leonardo DiCaprio just happens to be in some
pretty
type
much every room
of
in
fashion
LA.
show, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's like I said, that's scary.
Gives you
Scary.
the chills.
Gives me the chills. All right. What's going on with this?
Ryan Upchurch just got a payout from Nicole Arbor, who falsely accused him of assault. I guess that was the official allegation.
There's a $20 one there from High Voltage 75.
I don't.
Oh, I got
I'm not
it.
able
So
to see them.
He says, he says, I work near an Amish community. They use horse and buggies to get around and sometimes get rides in cars from helpers. They shop in grocery stores and Walmart like everyone else with their old-fashioned clothes on. Nice people. There you go. Nice people. Insular though, right? Like they don't just let people in from outside the community. It's hard. It's very hard. From what I understand, it's very hard.
Do you have to be born in it?
From what I understand, it's very hard to be accepted by the church.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's play the video of Ryan Upchurch here. He says that she has to pay him $124,000.
Here we go. Had that leg before.
All right, so check it out. I got some good news, fam. Remember when that fake comedian lady, Nicole Arbor, drugged me through the mud and tried to sue me and got Verna White from Tennessee Voices for Victims to slander me and defame me and all this shit? Oh man, and Nashville News helped them out, using my name and my face, saying, yeah man, we agree. He's so horrible for what he did to that person. Well, guess what? I win, motherfucker. The court accordingly hereby awards defendant Ryan Upchurch attorney's fees and expenses in the amount of $124,320.53 against plaintiff Nicole Arbor. I win, motherfuckers. Now, Nashville News and Verna White, how much money's in y'all's wallet? Because you owe me some money, motherfucker.
And then someone left a quote from him below saying, "Don't piss off a millionaire that still mows his own grass."
Yeah, right.
And their relationship allegedly came
I remember
to an
the
end
wallets. I remember
when
the wallet story.
He left his wallet in her house, and she refused to return it to him. And she filed a police report against him and has publicly accused him of being a narcissistic abuser who gaslights her. All of the buzzwords. She definitely seems to be full of it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people. She has a Lindsay Hill physiognomy,
I used to find quite a few of her skits actually fairly entertaining. I unfollowed her a while ago, right? Just wasn't making stuff that I found interesting anymore.
Literally only ever saw Dear Fat People. Yeah. And after that,
she had one called Race Wars that was really, really funny. She had a couple about Halloween costumes that were funny. I thought they were entertaining, but it wasn't as the content changed, I just wasn't something I was really interested in anymore. No idea what she's doing now, but
what she's doing is paying Ryan Upchurch
mess
six-figure
with a
sum.
guy who's a millionaire who mows his own lawn.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
All right. It is but it does feel like one of the things is you memory hole certain people, right?
Nicole Arbor was one of them.
Yeah, there's certain people whose names when you hear them, when the internet bans you, not her, right? But certain people. Who were we talking about one day? Where we were talking about somebody who when the internet wants you gone, you do eventually just kind of become a whisper of smoke. A wisp of smoke, right? It's I don't think about Milo unless Milo comes up.
It's not
in
a
the
conscious
of,
decision.
No.
It's the algorithm making the decision for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she also had one with it was drinking Bud Light with Batman or drinking beer with Batman. It was before the Bud Light controversy or something. It was it was drinking with Batman, and it was there was some funny stuff there, but
So Brett says some women are funny.
Skit humor, yes. Stand up. Nah.
Women are good at skit humor.
She did good skit humor. There was some clever. She also had one where it was she was the flu, and she was questioning why everyone was asking why she wasn't there anymore. There was some alright stuff.
I think that the crisis meter is
Is it? Oh, I can fix that.
Something is
I can fix that.
off.
That's okay. I can fix that.
What's going on?
I have to relaunch it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep. It's okay.
It went dark.
There we go.
It's back?
Yep.
All right.
And we're good. All right. All right. Oh, also, guys, this is kind of speaking of all the stories that have to do with Me Too and stuff like this. Jason Derulo, this was all over the news today. He is being sued by a woman who said that he essentially pressured her for sex after signing her to his label.
Yeah.
Right?
Is this going to get any bigger? Because what else is there to say at this point?
Yeah.
It's just story after story.
Her name's Amaza Gibson.
Shit. Every day, it's like there's a new story of the same allegations over and over again, and we don't know if it's true or false, nor do we really care all that much because we don't have the ability to know.
It says that he lured her in with what seemed like a dream recording deal in 2021. He then pressured her to party, made explicit demands for sex, aggressively berated her to the point that she dissolved into tears, and finally ghosted her because she spurned his advances. A new lawsuit is alleging also that she has post-traumatic stress from all of this.
How would that warrant?
I don't know.
Post-traumatic stress. She didn't get assaulted.
No, that it never in no circumstances here did it ever.
This guy
rise
made
to the level of
advances
assault.
towards me.
Yeah.
I rejected the advances, and I have PTSD from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do some digging.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It says, according to her, he repeatedly invited her to dinner and pressured her to drink. She said he stopped arranging rides for her when she pushed back. At a November 18th meeting in 2021 in New York to showcase her music to record executives, Derulo allegedly surprised her by leaving her alone in a room with another woman who indicated that she was in a sexual relationship with him.
What? How is that coordinated?
I guess what they're saying is supposed to be, is it supposed to be like because she left her in the room with him, like he's like, now tell her about it so that she'll want to? I have no idea what the logic behind that is supposed to be.
These allegations just keep getting more and more stupid. Like, how is this newsworthy? It just seems like a guy who was trying to make advances towards someone who wasn't interested in him.
Says
and
that,
then she didn't take him up on the offer. Like,
here's what she says. She says that when she asked Derulo why the woman was there, he exploded on her in the SUV, waving his arms in front of her and aggressively hitting his armrest. Why
are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Gibson started bringing her mom to meetings with Derulo after that, the complaint states. So, yep. Imagine thinking that you're going to enter the music industry and stuff like this isn't going to happen.
Hitting the headrest is obviously not okay.
No, and like I said, none of it seemed to rise to the level of assault, but just that she made like he made like inappropriate advances, but inappropriate doesn't mean illegal. So why is this being why exactly right? So why is this being adjudicated in court, right?
This is stupid.
Yeah, we'll
I just don't care about these stories anymore.
Yeah, but what we'll end up getting is that now by Monday, 3 more women will come out and make these claims.
Like,
none of which arises to the level of a crime.
Same thing happened to me.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see. All right. What would you like to see first? Cute or cringe of the day?
Cringe.
Cringe? All right. Let's do cringe of the day first. I think you sent me this one earlier.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese
just
did a TikTok with his daughter Francesca.
Yep.
They're getting voiced over by an AI.
I'm going to explain to you, or I'm going to ask you to guess what specific slang terms mean. And okay, I'll tell you it, and then I'll give you a sentence. Oh, you're going to tell me the slang
Can
word,
this girl
and I'm
speak
gonna have to give
English?
you what I think it means. Yeah, tea. I'm going to spill the tea. That means you're going to tell all you know. Yeah, okay. Ick. He clapped.
Marvel movies, he says.
Ick.
Clapped when the plane landed, and that gave me the ick.
He clapped at the end of
You were
Quantumania.
very, repulsed by it. Okay, good. Sneaky link. I would not tell you.
I didn't know this one.
I knew this one.
I didn't know
my
this one.
CV links. These are
Chat, what the hell do you think? Does anybody in the chat know? I'm curious. Does anybody in the chat know what the hell a sneaky link is?
Okay, we'll see if they.
I want to know.
If they can tell us.
peccadillos that you may have, sort of have in your own your own life, your own thinking, and things that you want other people to know about, or just, I don't know, some people are close to you.
Okay,
or something
pause
like that.
it. Guys, what is a sneaky link?
Thoughts? Chat?
Does anyone know?
I don't think anyone knows. I've never heard.
I've heard this in songs.
I assumed it had
tweets.
something. Okay, somebody says, so DCNC says the one you cheating with?
Yeah, or a booty call, someone else said. Yeah, that's what it is.
Side piece. Okay, so people know. I did not know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Pretty much. It's like a booty call. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Or like the specific person. Oh, I'm gonna go see my sneaky. Oh no, I didn't get that. No. Okay. All right.
Chat
we never
knew.
Use it. We never
The chat is way more in than us. They all knew.
so specific people in my day. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. You got a nice little variety. Yeah. Okay. What else you got? Come on. It's different. Okay. Watching a movie in 70 mil. It's different. You it's an easy one. You perceive it in a totally different way. Not totally differently, but you see it. You see it.
It's kind of cute.
It's
Never
another
mind.
perspective on the
It's not cringe now?
I think it's wholesome now.
Okay.
on the image, so to speak, and the
It'd be better if he was doing it in his own voice.
Yeah.
the effect the film has on the audience. Yeah, like it's much better. Like amazing. Hits different. Like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, it really is good. Yeah. Slept on. I was thinking about some stuff.
My
so I
movies after Marvel became popular.
A king of comedy was slept on.
Practical effects.
People
Practical
hated it when
effects
it
are
came
definitely slept
So
on.
slept on.
Pretty much. Yeah, it wasn't like it was the flop of the year. That's what it was called.
Flop of the year.
I always get weird when people do the TikToks and stuff with their grandparents. My favorite was the one where it's like my grandpa turned 80 and said he wanted to do a photo shoot for my Instagram, and I'm like, no, he didn't. He never said that. Your grandpa did not say that, you clout chasing slut. Like, never happened.
Tonight. Oh, and New Year's Eve, 83 to 84.
That's his granddaughter, not
Sorry,
his daughter.
never mind. His granddaughter.
Yep.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, it's okay. Sorry. How about 8? Lily Gladstone 8 in Killers of the Flower Moon. 8? 8. Oh, consume the screen, well, you know what I mean? Like,
In the chat, Galford's dog says this voice makes me want to curb stomp SpongeBob. I think we should use that to move on.
Maybe we've had enough.
Yeah.
Here.
All right, we've tapped them out. I got some cue of the day for you as well, ladies and gentlemen. This one from Pig Taku says 5 out of 5 here. Ronan, also known as the Boof, no sad backstop with him, though he does need surgery. And says link in the thread. Link in the thread if you feel like sharing. He has a growth on his twig.
Oh. Why would we share?
I just not censoring anything here, ladies and gentlemen. That is cute though. Oh.
Cute dogs.
This is a very happy dog right there. Okay. Amazing. And we got one more here, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Olivia Claire. She says, this is Gracie, my parents' cat. She's almost 2 and is one of the sweetest cats I've ever met. Well, anything's better than the Derpy Mocha. Anything's better than Derpy Mocha.
Oh, I like this mustache. This
yes.
milk mustache going on here. It's a nice look.
It's very dapper.
Yeah.
It's very dapper.
Cute.
I like it.
Cute.
All right, let's go ahead and get started then, shall we? Now that we are what? We are 40 minutes in, Mary. Tell us what's going on with Laura Loomer's Taylor Swift conspiracy that seems to be coming to life right at the hands of The View.
I love this. There is a conspiracy theory spreading like wildfire right now that Taylor Swift is actually angling to end up running for president in 2024 because with the timing of her Eras tour, she is making a comeback in the US late October 2024, where she is either going to promote all of her fans to go vote Democrat, or she's going to be telling them to vote for her by then. And you would think that maybe this isn't possible because she's only 33 right now. She's not old enough to be president right now. But if she runs, she will be 34 by the time she's elected, hypothetically, and 35 by Inauguration Day. So she actually would have a chance to become president of the United States.
This is
against
Laura Loomer's
Trump.
Yeah, this is Laura Loomer's post from yesterday.
Like, do you want to just dive into
It says,
this?
looks like everyone is now reporting on the story I broke a week and a half ago. I told you there was a
Yes.
political operation taking place.
So Alyssa Farah Griffin, who used to work for the Trump administration, is a host on The View, and she seemed to confirm this. She said, this ends in one way. We are all Taylor Swift fans, and speak for yourself. To be honest, if Donald Trump looks like he's going to win, she's just going to need to get in the race and defeat him once and for all, because she's probably the only person who can.
No, it's kind of no. Know what it is though? It's giving the same energy they have whenever they threaten Michelle Obama as a candidate, where they're like, the only way they're gonna win is if they bring in Michelle Obama. That's always
It could be a Michelle Swift ticket. Do you think Taylor Swift would be more likely as a VP?
Why would she do that? Why would anyone do that? It's a horrible
Here's
idea.
the thing. Taylor Swift is, if she doesn't run for president, it's not because she can't or because she doesn't have a winning chance, but it's because she doesn't want to, because being the president would suck and not make her any money.
Here's
but the
Laura
real
Loomer's
theory, the real theory here is that she has made a deal with the Soros family, who initially were involved in the purchasing of her music that she lost the rights to. So if she tells Gen Z to go get registered to vote as Democrats, they will give her the rights back to her music. So here is Laura Loomer's post. Has Taylor Swift made a deal with George Soros and Alex Soros to get the rights to her music back in exchange for Zoomers getting registered to vote Democrat against President Trump ahead of the 2024 presidential election? Gen Z plus Taylor Swift equals Gavin Newsom in the White House. The only way Gavin Newsom gets to the White House is if people with influence start normalizing his radical policies like vaccine mandates and late-term abortion. Gavin Newsom is 100% backed by George Soros, and he is the nephew of Nancy Pelosi. I didn't know that. In his old age, George Soros has turned his political empire over to his son, Alex Soros.
There's a $20 one here from the ninja from Pop Culture Planet, not Popcorn
Sorry.
Planet. Alex Jones broke this story 3 years ago, he said.
The one about Taylor Swift running, or about Taylor Swift making a deal with the Soros family?
Okay, probably about her making a deal with the Soros family.
Because it was public info that the Soros family bought the music.
Yeah.
But so she said last week Taylor Swift registered over 40,000 voters with a single Instagram post, most of them Zoomers.
Yep.
She's decided to engage in an anti-Trump tirade in which she's using her platform to make abortion and fear-mongering about divisiveness the number one issue to get people registered to vote.
She doesn't need to do that. Abortion has already the midterms last year already proved that topic was a huge one.
Her post about getting registered to vote was at least theoretically bipartisan.
Yes, but we all know that her
We know what
voting
she meant by
demographic.
it.
Yeah, there's a $20 one there from DC&C.
You read it, please.
Okay, it says
I can't
there's
see
a
it.
yearly poll at an alternative radio station in Australia. In 2015, the populace trolled the vote to get Shake It Off to number one, was leading until disqualified on a technicality. Lesson, Swift 2024, absolutely possible. And we've made the point recently, like, it just seems like there's been a coordinated effort on all sides of the media to raise her profile beyond just that of a mega pop star.
Yeah,
Like-
into a seemingly a world leader.
Yes.
Of some kind. Now she's dating Travis Kelce, who signed with Pfizer to push COVID vaccines to millions of sports fans and Zoomers. I'm not going to get into the rest of that sentence. Kelce embraces anti-American values because he kneeled for the national anthem in 2017. Taylor Swift also launched a world tour, and after she travels the world this year, she's coming back to the U.S. right before the election.
Thank you. Hold, please. We may end up having to have Taylor Swift as president, but at least we'll still have crisis parties.
I mean, I'm like, you know what? This country is such a joke already. Fine. Taylor Swift 2024.
Oh
Go
my
right
God.
ahead.
President Barbie.
It's literally President Barbie. Like, fine.
I want her to, like,
don't
what's
even.
going to happen is she's going to get pissed, she's going to nuke Russia, and then she's going to play the song Anti-Hero, and it'll all be fine.
Now we got bad blood.
Wait, no, does that mean, will she write songs about political, it'll just evolve her songwriting?
She's gonna write songs about Putin and Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. like she's in her world leader era, and then we'll have to have songs.
She's gonna make breakup songs about Xi Jinping.
Like every, you know,
love
like it would be great. Like, sure, democracy is, you know, our country's kind of a joke, but that's fine.
This is perfectly fitting
Yes.
for a late stage empire. You know?
Can she do it? Where it's like, look, just only Taylor Swift is big enough to take on both the popular vote and the electoral college this time around. You know, she's going to win those swing states. Like Florida does Florida go for Taylor?
Says she's spending 3 days in Miami, Florida, the last week of October in 2024, where she'll likely make a big push to get people to the polls.
Again, she will claim bipartisan.
Of course. Florida is the largest swing state in the nation and also happens to be where Ron DeSantis signed a 6-week abortion ban. The Eras tour that Taylor Swift is currently on is supposed to be a tour featuring all of her albums. However, she has lamented in the past that Alex and George Soros bought the rights to her music and her first 6 albums when Scooter Braun sold it to a private equity firm tied to the Soros family for $300 million. Do you think that they're in their efforts to beat Donald Trump in 2024 and destroy America, that George Soros and Alex Soros would have made a deal with Taylor Swift to help give back her rights to all of her albums as long as she helps Democrats get elected in 2024? You
know what my favorite part of this is? Okay, so you know how like there was this meme going around when Biden took office where they put the pride flag on the front of the White House with the 2 American flags on either side. I like the idea that when Taylor Swift gets elected, she like a live, laugh, love flag just kind of unfurls in front of the White House.
She's gonna like film music videos in the White House lawn.
It's gonna be. She'll have to get a dog that doesn't try to kill everyone like Biden has.
This is the natural conclusion of
the empire
feminism, really.
Also, in a lot of ways, like I really do think like somebody needs to write a story about how like in the future, thanks to social media, like we've been talking about how awful politicians are for years, but we're about to come up on an age where the only people that can win elections will be celebrities.
So play this TikTok, because I found a TikTok where a guy basically predicted this before anybody else did earlier this year.
Oh, also, I wanted to point this out. Taylor Swift Eras Tour passes $100 million in advance ticket sales. That's insane. Do you understand?
Pre-orders, yeah.
That's insane.
Beyonce could never.
No.
Beyonce could not win president.
Here we go. Hold, please.
Taylor Swift could be the president of the United States. The only thing keeping her from it is possibly...
This was from like May.
Yeah.
The Constitution. Possibly Article 2 of the Constitution. Hear me out, okay?
Hold on, there's a $20 one here from Burgundy Blue before we let this guy cook, which we will do.
Yes.
It says, lol, this Taylor Swift conspiracy theory is actually insane. Speaking of politics, what are your thoughts on Kevin McCarthy being removed? Personally, I know he didn't live up to the promises, but this was a huge strategic blunder. Look, it's made for good fodder for Trump. Other than that, like, I don't know. Matt Gaetz seems to know what he's doing, but I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on it? Does it interest you?
Zero thoughts on that.
I do know that all of this stuff makes me think these days is like there's too much infighting. Like you can make the argument that the Democrats are, fighting along lines of like, are they even going to run Biden in 2024 if he can drag his old ass to the fucking to the ballot box? I have no idea, but I don't feel like there's any type of coalition building going on the right because Trump is such a force.
Well, ironically, as this guy's about to point out,
Yeah.
Biden pulled the same thing that Taylor has the opportunity. Like, basically, Taylor Swift has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
in
I
this
do
situation.
wonder, Burgundy Blue, what your thoughts are on if you think Jim Jordan should take the job. But it would be funny to have Trump do it for 90 days just to see him get a second government. Wait, so here's a question. So I know, like, if you serve in government in any fashion, right, you get a pension. Like if you get elected to Congress or the Senate, somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I could be wrong on this.
Even lower.
Even if you just serve one term, you get a
Yes.
pension forever.
Yeah.
I love the idea that Trump becomes speaker and then use the pension to.
You also get health insurance.
There you go. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. All right, let's listen to this.
First thing you need to know is that video I stitched earlier, that is from Philadelphia. Last night, Lincoln Financial
I want
Field,
his shirt.
where the Eagles play, baby. and they have 70,000 seats in that arena. She's doing 3 shows. 210,000 people bought seats to this weekend of concerts. There were still 20,000 people outside the stadium just listening and dancing. That's the pull this lady has. Hillary Clinton.
Oh, there's a second $20 one here from DCNC. I didn't see this one. Swift stands up to be inaugurated, and Kanye steps in saying, I'm going to let you finish, but Michelle Obama is the greatest candidate of all time.
All time.
So, I mean, we talked about this. We said, like,
Yes.
the greatest thing we could do right now would be Taylor Swift, Michelle Obama, Donald Trump, Kanye West.
The only thing better than 2016 could be this. Like, I have something to look forward to again. This is why they say... I'm not going to say that. Never mind. That can't be said on YouTube.
Okay, here we go.
Clinton, when 2016 was in Philadelphia for the Democratic National Convention, 3 nights they were there. Were they at Lincoln Financial Field? No. Where were they? They were at Wells Fargo Center, next door, like an 18,000 seat arena, because they couldn't fill Lincoln Financial Field because they're not Taylor Swift. Donald Trump's always talking about his big crowds. Donald, when have you ever sold out a fucking stadium, baby? You've never done that. You do airports. You do Cessna airports. And you have a merch line 4 hours deep, Donald Trump? Do you? No. Taylor Swift had a 4-hour-long merch line the day before the concert series even started down in Philly. The day before it started. I have never seen this many white women in one place in Philadelphia.
It is fair to point out that in America, white women overwhelmingly vote Democrat anyways. So, you know, the best you could say
got
is,
it in the bag.
So, well, what you would say is that it would probably bolster attendance. It would, like, the number of women that would actually go out and vote would be higher because they would all make freaking TikToks on my way to vote.
If Taylor Swift is in the Democrat primary, then would she win?
Against Gavin Newsom? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
I do.
sure of that?
I probably, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not. I mean, I could be wrong. What do I know? Who knows?
And I regularly used to go to brunch and farmers markets. The only thing stopping Taylor is possibly Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the Constitution. Because as all Taylor Swift fans know, she was born December 13th, 1989. Which means on Election Day, Taylor Swift will be 34 years old. Election Day 2024. And Article 2 states you have to be 35 years old to be the president. Now, Taylor could argue that, hey, you have to be 35 to be president. Doesn't mean you have to be 35 to run for president. Because on January 20, 2025, she will be 35. And you know who proved that you can do that? Joe fucking Biden. Because Joe Biden ran for the Senate when he was 29 years old, but you have to be 30 years old to be a senator. And Joe Biden won the election when he was 29, and he waited to be sworn in until he was 30. I'm dead serious. So Joe Biden proves that Taylor Swift could run for the presidency, and her crowds prove she'd probably win. She would most definitely win. Oh, they're going to throw mud at her? She took down Kanye, okay? Where's Kanye right now? Huh? Where is he? Exactly.
I mean, Kanye took himself down. She didn't take down Kanye. Kanye took himself down. This is my favorite conspiracy theory in ages. I love it.
Yeah, and the last point he makes here is the most important. If she were to run for president and win, she would be losing power.
Yeah.
She has more power as a figure in pop culture than she would in office in the most powerful position in the world, technically. Also, people were giving slogan ideas. Taylor Swift 2024, Make America Shimmer Again. I thought, like, Make America Begin Again.
Oh,
Make America Gorgeous Again. It's MAGA.
It's
MAGA.
It's just, it's so great. I don't think she's gonna run. I don't think that's a thing.
I want the funniest timeline. I want to live in the funniest timeline, and I think maybe this could be a case of the most entertaining outcome is the likeliest.
Yeah. And
if you keep your hopes up, you know, or it's just going to be super boring.
I just don't. Now the more that I think about it, like, look, I don't know if like she may, like, everyone's focusing on the fact that she would bolster voters, but I mean, I still think there's plenty of people that she might split the vote on, like actual Union Democrats that might not be behind.
That's why
the
I
idea
said she would
that
just
they would
hamper
stay
the
home.
Democrat vote because
They
she would
stay
split
home.
them.
Yeah, and then we will get great videos of like.
Then she would guarantee Trump winning.
That would be
so everyone
amazing.
wins.
Like, yeah, there's probably enough people that would just stay home because they're like, look, I'm not voting for a 35-year-old pop star. I'm not doing a 34-year-old pop star.
And she doesn't really have an education.
Look, and I will say that, like, look, a lot of times one of the things a president has to do is know how to hire the right people and take advice from people smarter than them. And she has done that very, very well. She has somebody like her does not exist on her own. It takes hundreds upon hundreds of people to make Taylor Swift work. Beyond just her talent and her charisma. So assuming that she hired the right people, maybe she could do the job. I love the idea. I don't care. I just want the Taylor Swift Putin breakup song. Like look, finally she's like, look, boots on the ground in Ukraine.
What do you think
she just becomes a dictator?
Us having Travis Kelce as the first gentleman? The first gentleman.
No, she'll make sure to be single. She won't get married. She'll make a point to be single while in office.
Ugh.
She'll do that, and then she'll write her breakup songs about the countries she cuts off from aid. Maybe that's what she'll do. She'll be really petty.
Yeah.
And she'll nuke Russia because they cheated on her in a dream. And it'll be great. Here's the thing. It is something that I find interesting that even though Democrats are the ones that seem to always rub elbows with celebrities, celebrity politicians seem to be overwhelmingly right-leaning, right? Like Trump is a politician, and then Arnold. I mean, Arnold's not really a right-wing person, but he technically was a Republican when he was governor of California. Obviously, Ronald Reagan. I'm sure people can name tons of other ones.
I think the reason for that is if you're a leftist in Hollywood, you have more power as just a mainstream celebrity. But if you're a conservative in Hollywood, you're already getting blacklisted by your industry. So you kind of have to make a pivot anyway.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to go from entertainment to politics as a conservative rather than the other way around.
Yeah, it's now I'm sad I didn't spend any time thinking of slogans. I should have done that.
Guys, give us your Taylor Swift 2024 slogan ideas if you have any.
So what?
I'm sure she's brainstorming it.
It could be worse. We could get like a Taylor Swift AOC ticket.
Make America Speak Now.
That was
Yeah.
It's how you make your vote. Like that would be her slogan. Like get out and vote. Speak now.
Yeah.
It'd be horrible. It's great. All right, guys, now that we've thoroughly depressed all of you into letting you know what the future of America is, let's go to Super Chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, ladies and gentlemen, our special Friday guest, the empty chair. Would you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Chair. Thanks
for being here, Chair.
Thank you.
Quite Blackpilled said, more chair, please.
Hold on, I can do that.
There's some more chair for you.
There's another chair over there.
Yeah, we got an abundance of chairs today.
We've got many chairs today.
John Stewart, sorry, you already read that one. Shane H. Wilder said maybe it's because most of the news shows are crap. Oh, new shows are crap.
Yes, that is true.
But they're rewatching Suits over and over again.
Well, I mean, it's not just
cell.
Yeah, it's and it's funny too because like if you look at the like NCIS streams on there on Netflix, but it's only up through like 2013 episodes.
That's a lot.
Or 2016. Like it stops at a certain season. They don't have rights. All the seasons after that went to Paramount Plus because Paramount Plus owns CBS is owned by Viacom, I think, or whatever. So, all right, let's hold off on the rest and let's come back after the fact. Let's move on, shall we? So, if you guys remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was a politician, he was an actor, he was a bodybuilder, he was all these things. The most recent thing I think he's famous for is his comments on screw your freedoms during COVID. That's the thing people really remember him for.
Well, no wonder he's on Howard Stern then. He's a COVID authoritarian, and they fit in with each other.
What he says is we're over-babying youths, which creates a generation of wimps and weak-minded people.
I wonder if locking the youths in their homes for 2 to 3 years had anything to do with that, Arnold.
Let's listen to this clip from him with Stern.
It's so funny because it has nothing to do with the question.
Ozempic seems like...
Yes, he's like, here, what are your thoughts on Ozempic? And he's like, well, that's
Gen Z!
Wimps and babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
What do you make of this Ozempic? Ozempic seems like it's avoiding the big issue.
Well, to me, it's all about hard work. You know, and that's why I say in
Starve
that
yourself.
book, you know,
Don't take
work your
Ozempic.
ass off.
See, the name of the book
because
is
Seven Tools for Life.
He couldn't even get to
Come
12.
on, man.
He couldn't even get to 12. He's like, I don't need no 7.
He has tools, not rules.
Yes, exactly.
And you have to kind of put the work in. And, you know, I talked earlier about the
Bucko,
bicep.
clean
The
your
more
room.
you kind of torture the bicep, you know, the more
He like
resistance
makes them
you
all
give it.
different. Like one of them's it's like keep your car clean. he just steals all of Jordan Peterson's rules.
Wait, was that one of them?
No, but I'm
Okay,
saying,
I was
but clean.
like,
but
what?
I'm saying, but I like the idea. It's like
This is just something random.
it's like the meme that says like copy off me, but don't make it obvious.
Yeah.
It's like don't clean your room, clean your car.
Jordan Peterson is texting him the answers from his BlackBerry in
Yes.
class.
Here we go.
And the more pain there is, the more it grows. Earlier about the bicep, the more you kind of torture the bicep, you know, the more resistance you give it, and the more pain there is, the more it grows. The same is with us, with the human mind. The human mind can only really grow through resistance. You can only strengthen your character and become a really strong person inside if you have resistance, if you fail, if you get up again, and if you work hard, and if you work your ass off, and if you struggle.
I guess it's kind of related because Ozempic is a shortcut.
Yeah, he's like, don't take Ozempic, just starve yourself. It's
Yeah.
harder that way.
Well, he's talking
all
about,
about the hard work.
He's talking about working out and how
I'm kidding.
to actually
I'm
to actually grow your
kidding.
muscles, you have to.
Yes, I
yeah,
know.
resistance matters.
But he just wanted to pivot it to talk about his book, which he's selling.
It's funny because to me, I just think that, and it's not even his fault that when you're his age and you've reached his level of success, it's very hard.
Is there more in
it's,
it?
Yeah, well, we're going to get back to this.
Okay.
Like, it's very hard for somebody who's his age and reached his level of success to be able to kind of empathize with the struggles of somebody who's growing up now. Because the struggles of somebody who's growing up now are very different than the struggles of somebody growing up at his time. And both generations are going to tell you you've had it easier than us. The boomers are going to say you've got it easy, your life is comfortable, there's no threat of war, there's no threat of this. And Gen Z will say, yeah, well, you bought a house for $9,000 and went to college on a weekend with a job on the weekends, right? Like, I feel like the number one, the most prevalent thing that Gen Z is struggling with is doomerism, nihilism.
Yes.
And that's just not going to resonate because to him, it was just a very different struggle at that time. Optimism was still prevalent.
Mm-hmm. And they turn to movements like communism or body positivity or mental health, like psychobabble, because they have nowhere to turn. They weren't passed down religion or tradition.
Actively avoiding it.
And they're looking at the hot crazy scale of rent going up and wages staying stagnant or going down. And,
They've
and you
never
just
been
feel like
propagandized that
there's
much.
really no hope.
Yeah.
So that's why I said earlier with you, I said I don't begrudge Zoomers having a communist phase as long as it's a phase, because I mean, what else can you really do?
I mean, that's what I always point out to them. Is like, look, when you make these things about the boomers who have ruined the housing market, even though you're right, it's not going to turn these people to free market economies. It's not going to make them believe in the free market because they don't. They've been propagandized into considering what is actually corporatism as capitalism. Therefore, they've been poisoned on the idea, which previous generations were not.
Do you know anything about Arnold Schwarzenegger's upbringing? That
I don't. Other
sheds
than he
light on
he
this?
grew
He's
up
an
in
immigrant.
Austria. I think he had a family member that was. Oh, there's a $20 one here from the ninja. Hold on.
The ninja from Pop Culture Planet
says, when I was a kid, I remember the VHS copy of Last Action Hero. There's a commercial with him telling the kids, I'm going to turn your mush into muscle. It's sad to see how the mighty shrivel. He's not in touch anymore. Like, I almost don't begrudge him that. He's like a gazillion years old.
Yeah.
Here, let's finish this clip.
You struggle, the further you're going to go and the stronger you're going to get. So it's just the way the rule works. Anyone that tries to baby themselves and pamper themselves and trying to protect themselves, oh, I don't want to feel bad, or I don't really want to go through any discomfort, it's over. You're never going to get there. That's just the way it is. I mean, You have to be able to struggle. And if you're not able to, work on that. Work on that you're learning how to accept pain, misery, and discomfort, all of the things that you don't like, because the more you experience the things that you really don't like, the more you can grow and the
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I do it is actually one of those things where I know it's like old boomerish advice, but it's important.
No pain, no gain is a good life lesson.
It's important. Like, I understand that not all kids are going to love sports, but I do think that sports and physical activity are very, very important for men to get into at some age, right?
Yeah.
Some would say for, like, if it's sports, it's because they need to learn how to work as a team. Or if you get into, you do martial arts or you get into a combat sport, it's about being able to
self-discipline, camaraderie.
Yes, absolutely. And those are notions that are kind of like, in those communities, they're important, but there's a strong element of people laughing at it now because there's people that look at the outcome of life and say, why would I want to put myself through more hardship than I'm already feeling? Because they have a naturally nihilistic view of the world.
I hope that he has the same opinion about Ozempic that he has about steroids.
I don't think so.
Because that would only be logically consistent, wouldn't it?
You'd think,
no
right?
pain, no gain. It's all about the resistance. Don't make things easier for yourself. Don't get comfortable.
He's like, look, I'm in my bulking phase anyways. I'm not in a cutting phase right now, so.
You get, and the more you can handle. I mean, it's just that simple. So many young kids that they kind of shy away from that. But you have to be attracted to that. Just think about, and I talk about that in the book, I mean, what built this country? What built this country? Is it people that slept in?
It's people that stayed locked in their house during COVID, Arnold. That's what. That's
people that post on their Instagram story at 4 a.m. saying, like, daily grind.
He is also right that you have to be attracted to that type of life too, right? Like, I was talking recently about how, like, I got re-injured recently from skating because, like, skating became such an important part of my life at such a young age that I didn't go days or weeks without doing it. So when I would get hurt, I would end up re-injured quickly because I didn't know how to take time off, even though you're always kind of generally sore. So it's really, there's this really great meme that says, like, when the doctor asks you, like, how bad's the pain on a scale of 0 to 10, and he says, like, well, whatever the normal amount is. The doctor goes, the normal amount is 0. He says, like, I'm the normal amount in pain. Like, you're always just kind of sore. Your
one is pain.
Yeah, like you're kind of always sore. Like, you walk around, like, my knee just pops, and all this stuff. But it's like you've grown to love what you do more than you hate being in pain or struggling. And a lot of people aren't falling into that pattern. I also saw a report recently that said, like, kids enrolling in team sports has gone down.
Yeah.
So.
That were wimping out. It says, oh, I want to feel good. I want to be comfortable. No, these were ballsy women and men that went out there at 5 in the morning and got up and they struggled and they fought and they worked their butts off. That's what made this country great.
But when Kim Kardashian says it, she gets dragged for saying work harder.
Right.
And so now let's continue this way. Don't start creating a generation of wimps and weak people and stuff like that, where we go into be concerned about how are you feeling today? Oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. And also, it's nice to be considerate. Yes, I totally agree with that.
Way to qualify your statement.
Over baby the kids, and let's not over baby kind of the people. I mean, let's go and teach kids to be tough, to go out.
I would love to know what his take is on spanking. Like, hey, Arnold, what is your, like, should kids be spanked? Should kids,
How many kids does he have?
I don't know. That's a good
also,
question.
is he married? I really don't know much about his personal life.
His son is a bodybuilder now. Like,
who is he has a famous daughter-in-law, right?
Well, that's married to Chris Pratt.
That's his son-in-law. Sorry. Yeah.
Son-in-law. Chris Pratt is married to Maria Shriver.
Okay.
He's there's a great Bill Burr skit talking about how many lifetimes would you have to work to become as successful as Arnold, and he's right.
What do you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chris Pratt, 2024?
Arnie can't run. Arnie can't run. He wasn't born here. He's not allowed to be president.
But that's in another part of this interview with Howard Stern. He asks him, like, do you wish that you could have been president? And he was saying, like, I feel like I have what it takes, but
He's probably more coherent than Biden by just a tiny
tad,
bit.
yeah.
A tiny bit. Like him and RFK can run together based on like old jacked dudes. That's what they can do.
Old jacked Democrat dudes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And it kind of makes me laugh because it just makes him being governor of California feel like literally 10 lifetimes ago. Mm-hmm. Like we've lived 10 political lifetimes in the time since Arnie was a politician.
What year was that again?
So I was watching, guys. Do you know which year he won for? But it's funny because I was watching. He had a cameo in the original Expendables movie because he was still in office at that time. It was great. But yeah, it feels like we've lived 4 lifetimes since then. And Jesse Ventura was my governor in Minnesota, but he wasn't a Republican. He was an independent, I believe.
I don't know why, but when Jordan Peterson essentially says the exact same thing, I am so much more receptive to it. Yep. Like, he's essentially copying off of Jordan Peterson's homework here.
Yes.
Saying the same clean your room, bucko, no pain, no gain message. Yet, when Jordan Peterson says it...
2003 recall vote.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
When Jordan Peterson says the same things, I don't know, maybe he's just more eloquent. At delivering it, and also he's not a COVID tyrant.
Yeah, I think being able to present, I mean, that's a big part of Jordan Peterson's appeal, right?
Yeah.
Is his ability to present it to you in a way you're like, it's kind of like when people say like British people just sound smarter. It's like, they just sounds like he's so soft spoken. It's like, well, he wouldn't lie to me. Listen to this guy.
Mm-hmm. His Canadian accent just like, really sells it for
me. And when you're a Canadian, and when you have a Canadian accent, you're just more likely to trust them, right? Because why would a Canadian person lie to you? They're so nice. Like, all of this advice would have been good advice at any age, right? Everything that he's saying here isn't necessarily bad advice. I just think that the idea that the youth of today have the same struggles or concerns as previous generations. It really is more, in my opinion, about the fact that we're kind of put through constant psychological warfare because of our phones. You're always being sold a product. You're always being propagandized by something. You're always being mentally attacked in some way, shape, or form. And you see the result of it in our culture now, I think. And I just don't think that he would be able to really get that. And it's not even his fault. He's just too old to be able to understand that.
Also, like, I'm just so tired of the conversation always being about who has it harder. Everyone engages in that same argument. Like, who has it harder, men or women? Who has it harder, Gen Z or millennials? or which generation had it the hardest? It's just
so
like
the boomers
pointless
can tell you. So the boomers can tell you to work harder
for like who has it the hardest, who's the biggest victim, and who has the most leverage to tell other people how to live. It's really the result of cultural Marxism, which evolved into the term wokeism, which redefines all of society into hierarchies,
you know, that
social power hierarchies.
They edited the cultural Marxism page on Wikipedia.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be like a fairly straightforward definition of the term, and now it's
more charitable.
Now it's called a right-wing conspiracy. It's not real.
Yeah, every right-wing conspiracy.
Yep. I wonder what
has a Wikipedia page now.
Basically, right? So yeah, it's just sad because I do think a lot of it, like in the past, like if you grew up in his generation, or even really mine, right? Ours was like 9/11 led to the war in Iraq. So every previous generation had a foreign enemy that they were being sold to by the media. Right? Russia, Afghanistan, Iraq, China. Like you've been sold a bag of goods that there's a foreign enemy that brought people together as a country. Yeah. Now you're being sold now the enemy is mental health and your neighbor and your right-wing neighbor.
The enemy is domestic terrorism.
Yeah. And that's wreaking havoc between that and the unstable economy and a dour tone to the world.
Dour memes.
Dour memes has turned the future generation into a very, very different place than the one we saw before us. But you can't really blame them because they've been propagandized at every corner. It's not shocking to me. But I do think that there is a lot of solace to be gained in finding something that you really, really become passionate about that involves physical activity. Because right now, guys, I haven't been skating in over a month, and it literally, like, I've had to take, like, I can't run yet because my leg is still hurt. So it's like walking. That's what I can do, and that's about it. And that has wreaked havoc on my mental health in a lot of ways because I am so used to skating so many times during the week, so many days a week, which is both a physical benefit and a psychological one. And not having that is a very bad thing for me. So I really do recommend almost everybody find something like that, some type of physical release from the world.
What happened with Arnold Schwarzenegger's divorce? What was the story there? It was the housekeeper?
He cheated on her with the housekeeper, yeah.
Didn't we talk about this, or was that a different person?
Maybe a different person. I mean, it's come up on the show. I've mentioned it before.
Yeah, you said she wasn't even as hot as Maria Shriver.
Well, he was the Bill Burr skit he goes like, why would he cheat on his wife with like the ugliest woman you've ever seen? And he goes like, I'm not saying I'm a pro.
Whoever's taking care of your home and your kids.
Yeah.
You have this biological urge.
Yeah. And that skit turned into a thing where he goes, why was he always dragged and why was the housekeeper never dragged? He goes, why was she never called a whore ever? He goes, she knew his wife, met their kids, slept in her bed with it. He's like,
well, if you think about it, in this situation, you could interpret this that he's taking the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he should not do that. He should be making it harder on himself.
Maybe the reason why divorce rates are skyrocketing is the same reason people are taking Ozempic instead of working out to lose weight. You don't want to put work into anything that's uncomfortable.
Do you think it's true? In the chat, Chris Welch says it is demonstrably true that kids today are wimpy. My little nephew can be killed by a peanut. Do you think this generation is? I mean, it also kind of goes back to the thing where people talk about like how much younger the generations look now than they did. They show you videos of people who graduated high school
Something's
in the 80s,
in the water,
and they look like they're on their way to their like retirement party already.
I swear it's not just the fashion, and it's not just the hairstyles. People's faces literally look more babyish.
Yeah.
At the same age.
It absolutely does feel true to me. But
again, I mean, it's not your fault if you are born into the age of softness and helicopter parenting and being in a cushioned room.
Technically,
all the
it's the
time.
generation before you's fault for babying the kids.
And is that because Gen X were the latchkey kids? Who knows?
They kicked us out of the house and told us don't come home until the streetlights come on, which was actually true.
Yeah. So now I'm going to keep watch of my child 24/7 and never let them have independence.
I was either the streetlights come on or my dad whistled to me from across the suburb like a dog.
I like watching parents encourage their kids to do dangerous shit.
Yep.
It's cool.
It
is.
I was I don't know if I was encouraged to dangerous
climb
things,
up that high ledge,
I mean I had plenty of stitches growing up from doing stupid things that my dad just probably saw from the window and was like, idiot. Like you got the number one being like the first time I had to get stitches, like I bit through my tongue. My brother put me through a glass table. I fell out of a
Did
tree.
you fight with your brother a lot?
I mean, he was 7 years older than me. It wouldn't be a fair fight if that was true. But we scuffled. Mainly because I stole all his CDs all the time and listened to them. I was not very kind about his, respecting his private property, his personal property. The libertarians would have been pissed. So.
I scuffled with my brothers.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Justin G said The Little Mermaid being ranked 4th is surprising. I haven't met a single person who has actually liked it. Are that many people watching it ironically? I don't think they're hate watching it. I think it's just like now that it's on Disney Plus, they're like, oh, let's hit play on this thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't really care.
Like there's a lot of movies that are going to do better because people are like, look, I want to see it. I just don't want to see it enough to go to the theater to see it.
Susan Inspiration said, I've always wanted to know who runs the Dutch County Markets website.
So I'm guessing that's something Amish. So it's like they've got one, like Jebediah took community college courses.
It's like how Orthodox Jewish people hire non-Jews to do work for them on the Sabbath. Maybe Amish people have a similar setup.
Yeah.
They pay someone to run their websites for them and stuff.
Makes sense.
Or they just say that they do, and they're actually using computers.
That would be very hypocritical.
Shane H. Wilder said, that ex-Amish dude came up in my YouTube recommendations one day, and I went down a rabbit hole. He tries to get people out of the Amish community by sneaking them out in the dead of night.
It's literally the Underground Railroad for Amish people.
That's a little ridiculous, is it not? I mean,
It's not like they're being held captive there, right?
It's not like Scientology over there. They're not going to hunt you down.
He should do a collab with Leia Remini about like the Amish community and Scientology.
I want to have an ex-Scientologist and an ex-Amish on the show at the same time. That'd be fun.
That would be great.
Quite
Let's do one more.
Blackpilled said the Amish make a good chair, I hear.
Yep.
They don't make our chairs. These chairs are not Amish chairs. That's why they break so much.
Definitely not. Let's do one more.
Nathan Koss said, in relation to the Amish, should it be illegal to actively help degrade a rare cultural and ethnic group?
You'd have to give me a stronger definition as to what you mean by degrade. I would need to know what you mean by degrade, but I would say no. I don't think it's that's the government's business about degrade. Like, no, I don't understand it. Less government, always better. All right.
Are they an ethnic group? I mean, I guess they inbreed enough that they are kind of.
All I know is degrade is it's too general of a term. I have no idea what that means. It's not like it doesn't rise to the level of an offense. All right, Mary, what's going on with Kanye?
We've already seen the hit pieces saying that Kanye is abusing his wife, Bianca Censori. Kathy Griffin added in her 2 cents. Bianca Censori clearly wants nothing to do with this. She's telling her friends who are concerned about her to F off. But this new piece in the Daily Mail has a bunch of insiders claiming that she's been instructed by Kanye to never speak. And he also has other weird rules for her, like what food she's allowed to eat. We already know that he's dressing her every day, telling her what to wear. So this says Kanye has a set of rules for Bianca, which includes never speaking and wearing what he wants her to wear. That's evident. But I mean, why would she want to speak to the media anyway when they're just going to ask her to throw Kanye under the bus? Right? Look. If she tried to take an interview, they would just ask her, like, what do you think of his controversial comments about Jews or whatever? Like, there would be nothing to say there. She's also required to eat certain food items and to work out, even though Kanye doesn't work out.
Again, if you've got his money, you're allowed to have whatever standards you want.
Also, she was already super fit and in shape before they ever started dating.
She's not going to just stop working out because he doesn't work out.
Yeah, like that was probably already a part of her lifestyle anyway.
And again, remember when people say married, they're not legally married.
No,
they're
it's kind of a technicality
married.
So that he doesn't feel any guilt about having sex with her.
Yes.
Theoretically. A diet of kebabs, ice cream, and watermelon juice, which is an aphrodisiac, is permitted.
I'm sorry, but I have to go up to this phrase. It says, it comes amid ongoing fears that the rapper is manipulating his so-called wife into a radicalized version of his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian. Look, at a certain point, like we're going to talk more about this, but because of the thing with Beyonce, but like at what age do women actually become responsible for their own actions and choices? She's an adult. Her brain has fully developed. That frontal lobe is finished. It's not the size of a pear anymore, or of a pea anymore. She can make her own choices.
She's what, like 28?
She's 28. Like at a certain point, it's not that a man is manipulating you. You're just making a value judgment on what type of choices you're willing to let a man make for you in return for what you deem to be a fair return on your investment, meaning either increased levels of notoriety, which will help your career later. Maybe it's money. I don't know. But at some point, everybody's an adult here. There is no victim here.
I think what she's doing, what she's choosing to do is degrading and gross. But I still recognize that this is her free decision she's making. Yeah. And she's going to deal with the consequences later. A lot of fabricated Me Too style allegations come forward when a woman makes a value judgment like that and it doesn't have the results that she was hoping for. You sleep with the movie producer and you don't get the role you thought you were going to get.
I faked
You realize you made a bad gamble with your dignity and your standards for yourself, and then you want to blame somebody else. And this is already after we know her friends have come to her with these concerns, and she told them to F off, said that they're jealous of her fame, and stopped talking to them.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
I mean, I can already picture later the interview where she talks about how
maybe
she was under
will
his
turn
spell.
on him.
She will.
Maybe she will, and everyone will fall in line and believe her, and because believe all women, right?
Because women are not.
It's stupid.
Because women are at the forefront of proving to you that women are not responsible for their own actions.
So this says a few of her friends were finally able to reach her, but she wasn't interested in talking, nor was she interested in anyone's concerns for her, says a close friend.
I mean,
she
this is
shut
also...
everyone out and told one of her former friends to F off when they tried to ask if she was okay. One of her former classmates described her as a social butterfly who was friends with everyone. Another says that she is stuck and her friends are trying to save her, but no one can because of the blockades Kanye has put up around her. What blockades? They don't have her phone number anymore? She changed her phone. Did he take her passport? What did he do?
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Like, she just is choosing to live this extremely weird lifestyle right now.
There's also,
because
like,
she
the
wants
trope-
the fame and the money that comes from it.
There's also the trope going the other direction of like men who can, like, they can no longer hang out once they're in a relationship because they're with a girl that demands so much on their time. But that's never treated as like when the relationship ends, he's like, oh my gosh, she psychologically tortured me into making me spend every waking moment with her.
If a girlfriend tells you not to go on the boys' night and you follow her direction,
that's because
that's
you
your
made the choice.
misjudgment. Yeah. Everyone is extremely concerned. This isn't who she is. She's an incredibly outspoken and lively person who is never one to keep her mouth shut. Kanye is trying to make Bianca into a radicalized version of Kim, almost like Kim 2.0. The difference is that when Kim was with Kanye, he was respected in the fashion world. He has since lost that respect. I mean, it is definitely a red flag that she bears such a clear, like, resemblance to Kim. Like, in certain pictures, I don't see it. In others, she looks a lot like a young version of Kim. And that's his own pathology, that he wants to stay stuck in that relationship after his wife has clearly moved on. You know?
Yeah.
But still.
Like, she's 28. She's not a child. She's a very much a grown-up woman.
Well, she looks like Kim looked when she was 28. Like,
yeah.
It is weird that they have that resemblance, but not surprising. And I mean, Kanye has a type. It's not surprising at all.
It also brings up this clip of Beyonce and Jay-Z, right?
Yeah, so people right now are talking about that how Beyonce is also a victim of grooming at the hands of Jay-Z because of this clip that resurfaced where Beyonce is giving a toast to her husband, saying, you know, they met when she was very young, and she
met when she was
learned
18.
from him how to be a woman. Let's play that clip first.
This is nothing compared to what you've done, and not only me but everybody here. You've taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating. You taught me how to be a woman. You taught me how to live. You taught me how to be a friend. You've given me so much in life, and this is not enough. It's not enough I can give you. I just want you to be happy, and every year I'm even more in love with you, and I want to spend every day of my life with you. Happy birthday, and I thank God for you every day.
So the clip, they're saying that it was grooming because they met when she was underage.
Well, she said in this clip they met or started dating when she was 19, right?
She said 19. She said 20.
She was either 19 or 20.
She
whatever.
said 20 in this, but people in the thing are saying 19.
This says one of the most egregious examples of grooming being ignored by the public, and a huge part of that is because she's black, and another part is she's Beyonce. She's the queen, unimaginably strong and impactful. She is female empowerment. How could she possibly be a victim?
So is she a victim here?
No, she is not. I mean, hasn't she made entire albums slamming her husband for cheating on her? Yeah. How could you be a victim in that situation? You have more than enough voice.
Yep. She was a 20-year-old child, Mary. Yeah, it's a cultural thing.
How old was he? What's
he's
the
12,
age gap
He's 12
there?
years older than her.
He was like in his early 30s
yes.
then? Yeah. Don't see the big deal there.
Yep.
That's incredibly normal, especially for, you know, the 90s.
I would wonder.
And 2000s in the entertainment industry. What does her race have to do with it? What is that?
They're saying that it's being ignored because they would only care about the grooming of white women.
Oh, whatever.
Is what they're saying there. Yeah. It says.
It says they're 12 years apart and met when she was 18. Him teaching her, quote, how to be a woman is disgusting when you remember he was 30 when they got together. And that's the only adult relationship she's ever been in. I mean, why is that a bad thing? Like, I think Libby was talking about this with us before, that the expectation of how to use your prime years in your 20s is to just sleep around with as many people as possible in the name of gaining experience, becoming an insufferable and selfish person, and then try to settle down with someone who can tolerate you.
Yeah.
Like, maybe someone like Beyonce can get away with that because of her fame and her beauty and her money, but that doesn't translate for the vast majority of people.
One of the top comments says it's committing to a man at 19 is insane. That's what they're saying in this. That they don't understand a world.
I mean, what do they think of 19-year-olds who commit to each other? Yeah. That happened throughout history.
I think they would have the same critique.
Is that grooming? How is that grooming?
No, they wouldn't call it. No, she's not talking about the groom. She's just saying committing to any man at 19 would be insane because you're supposed to go just do a bunch of dudes.
Any 19-year-old can make a stupid decision in who to marry, and any 19-year-old can make the best decision in who to marry. And I've known both examples.
Yep.
You know?
And
I mean, as far as the Kanye West and Bianca Censori thing, like, in your own experience, have you seen any relationships that you saw where, like, clearly, like, you can't reach one of the people, like, they're totally brainwashed in a way?
That's a very, like, hard line to put on something, because I've seen people that are very, very into their relationships where maybe it seems like one person is more into it than the other person, but I'm not going to lay that at the feet of the other person because I don't know enough about their private lives to say that. But I've known people where one person seems to be more interested than the other one pretty heavily, and that doesn't necessarily mean that person is responsible for that person. That the other person's responsible for that person's behavior. It just means that there's a certain level of inadequate, a gap between how they seem to be interested in one another. But that doesn't amount to something being done that's wrong.
Yeah,
necessarily.
exactly.
So
I mean, also the idea that in their however many decades of marriage, Beyonce has not done anything on the side is ridiculous as well. Like, I'm sure they have both been unfaithful to each other at different points.
Yeah, and they've got how many kids, and they've been together for how long? Like, it was a legal relate. Also, another thing they point out here, somebody says, like, what are we supposed to do when somebody who's this age, who's like a legal adult, gets with somebody that's 12 years old? They said when they're a teenager. I'm like, so are you saying that we should just change the legal adult number to 20? Is that the solution to
or
this?
Or is that a
for?
result of what plagues modern society that causes people to stay in extended adolescence for much longer than they ought to?
Yeah.
Like, only a parent knows that. Only a parent knows when their adult child is
also in the 90s, like in the 90s and the early 2000s, like nobody thought about it beyond the fact of just being legal. It was not the morality of it wasn't really a question back then.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. Back then it was a question of the people who cared enough to talk about this stuff, which were the Ashton Kutchers and the people who did the countdown for the Olsen twins and the Hillary Duff. So the reason why that became a thing is like nobody thought of it past the moral quandary of the legality of it, right? They're like, okay, I waited till they were 18 is what they're saying, right? But nobody really thought about, does that mean that you were tempted at 17? Nobody thought about whether that was weird or not back then. It just never seemed to come up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a different world we lived in at that time.
This conversation has just become so insane. Like, I'm even seeing like think pieces saying, like girls should be married off the moment that they start menstruating. And I'm like, okay, maybe we've overcorrected here a little bit, guys. Like, that's Everyone is just coming to the polar opposite.
And the chat, in the
conclusions.
comments on this topic, at least on the Beyonce one, are fairly split. Of some people saying yes, it's inappropriate, and other people saying that it's not. So.
I think that you should ask Beyonce if she thinks it's inappropriate.
Well, they don't care what she has to say about it.
Of course
They
not.
don't care what she has to say
Yeah.
about it. All right, let's go to Super Chats.
DC&C said, regarding cringe of the day, did boomers, Gen X, and Gen Y have the same level of extra lingo, or does Gen Z have more?
I actually believe that Gen Z and millennials have more, and buzzwords are far more common because of the internet. Like, one of the reasons I will stick by this till the day I die, one of the reasons why television was better isn't necessarily just to do with woke. As much as I hate that term, woke, it's got to do with the fact that modern lingo is so heavily pushed in television shows and movies that it dates it instantly.
And pop culture references.
And not just the pop culture references, but also the lingo, mental health.
Well, what about the
Narc-
harmless ones like Riz?
Narcissist. Like, I'm not, like, that is, like, in most television shows, that's going to be used, like, that will be used as a joke where a parent will try to use it and then the kid will roll his eyes at his parents not knowing how to use a word, right? That type of humor's always existed. But back in the day, writers wrote in a more established fashion that didn't seem like it was echoing the words that were being thrown into articles in the news, right? There was less buzzword-laden dialogue in television shows and movies back in the day.
Yeah.
Now everything has to be mental health. Everything has to be toxic narcissist. You'll see it in everything, and it takes you out of the show and it puts you in the real and it puts you back in the real world. And that's one of the reasons why it all sucks.
Sir Rango Productions said, excited for the Taydolf Swiftler era.
Let's go!
Just her dictatorship era, you know?
I'm in my dictatorship era. Like maybe what she'll do is she'll write she will then perform with whoever the big star is of your country. So when she goes to Japan, her and BTS.
That's
I'm sorry, that's South Korea, right?
Yeah.
Who's a big artist in Japan?
I don't know, actually.
We'd have to be.
They have J-pop groups.
There you go. Like, he goes to Russia, and it's I don't know who's over. See, this is why America rules. Like, we can't.
You
even
have
name
all of the most famous.
like, and
performers.
even if they are from that country, they got famous here.
Who are some Russian performers? Gosh, I don't know.
Here we go. Okay, fine. He goes to, like, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is on her way to finish building the wall in Mexico, and her and Bad Bunny do a performance on top of the wall.
Nice.
That's what they do. Like, and what it is so they prefer, what they do is they turn the wall into like a mirror type thing. So it's like a hand puppet. So both sides of the wall can see the performance.
Oh, yeah. But everyone stay on their own side.
Everyone stays on their own side, but you can both see her and Bad Bunny perform together.
That's beautiful.
And it would be a moment that would bring our cultures together, not tear them apart. And frankly, I think that's beautiful.
King New Jersey said the red hair guy looks like a simp. What
Who
red
was the
hair
red?
guy?
The guy in the Taylor Swift video.
The TikTok?
The TikTok guy. Do one more and then let's move on.
Dreamcast Night said a woman who listens to Taylor Swift is a red flag, but male Swifties are more like an alien in a skin suit with a snatcher van that says
free candy.
Free candy.
I don't think that a woman listening to Taylor Swift is a red flag. I think she crosses political and social boundaries, social spectrums.
If anything, it's a green flag because she conforms with the status quo. You know? Like, she's a Hobby Lobby, pumpkin spice, live, laugh, loving girl.
I'm telling you, man.
There are a lot of conservative Swifties, a lot more than maybe people realize.
Yep. All right, let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back. Mary, you have to explain this story to us because this story is insane.
Yes. So this woman on TikTok decided to record an awful first date she was on.
It sounds fake.
It might be fake. I am not discounting that possibility at all. There are tons of viral videos just like this that go viral and they're fake. But she was on this awful first date with a guy who is described as a manosphere crypto bro, who is also a SoundCloud rapper that wrote a song about her called Snow Bunny Hunter. And I don't know how to explain this to you other than just showing you the videos. She recorded this in 4 parts.
Let's watch the first one.
Let's start with, the first one here. Let's unpack this.
Yes.
I'm actually working on my first like single release, everything like that.
She just can't get enough of that wine.
Oh, you make music? Okay.
Yeah, I just started.
Can I hear something?
Yeah, I mean, my first song, it's called Snow Bunny Hunter. Basically, it's about my love for white women and everything like that.
It has to be fake.
My mom didn't immigrate here from this country for me not to be with a white woman. You know? That's the way.
Right.
That's the way I see it.
Right.
So, yeah, I can show you a little.
Do you think she actually agrees with him there?
I don't understand her reaction throughout this date, because if this were me, I would be like, "You're crazy.
You're freaking nuts." Like, did you hear what he just said? And she's just casually like, "Oh
she's
yeah."
right.
She's like, "Oh yeah, I totally get it. Your mom wouldn't want you to. Your mom didn't, swim from Honduras, from Cuba, just to your mom didn't trek from Honduras or swim from Cuba to have you date something other than a white woman. That's insane."
Of course. Yeah.
You know, that's the way.
Right.
That's the way I see it.
Right.
So. Yeah, I can show you a little bit of it.
This has to be fake.
First part of it.
If he's trolling, he's the best. He's my favorite. If they're in it together, it's even better.
It's not that bad. I think it could go fucking platinum. You know, for my first song, it's not that bad. Right. It's not that bad at all.
Okay, and then the next
First,
one.
Leave like the bodies a single release.
This one?
Like
Yeah.
that. Leave like the body's a temple, and who you share your body with is one of the most important things ever. Especially as a
She says, "My phone was hiding behind a plant on the table and my purse."
Okay.
girl, right? Freaking. What's your body count? Like,
What's your
pretty
body
crazy.
count?
I'm at like.
I didn't know that
honestly,
question got asked in the real world in that way.
Be out and about, doing my thing. You know, as a guy, I feel like it doesn't matter as much. You know, you
This
gotta
has to be
more
fake.
charming, captivating, and funny. But like, yeah, how many do you have?
A lot less than that.
Around a range?
Under 10.
Under 10? That's under 10 too much. You know, Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay. Can we get the check? I have to go home. Like, my stomach kind of hurts.
It's got to be fake.
I've been around big. Probably like Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Probably like Joe Rogan,
Okay.
Ben Shapiro, and Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson. All of them, they're kind of just leading the new age thinking for all men, you know? Men these days are becoming just kind of like...
So if this were real, right, would he not mention Andrew Tate here? If this were real?
No, if it was fake, I think he'd mention Andrew Tate.
So you think it is real?
No, I have no idea. I have no clue. I think it's funny because I still stand by it. I said I think that if you're looking at someone on social media and they follow Jordan Peterson or they follow Joe Rogan, it's generally a sign. No. That indicates that they're the right wing.
That they're super conservative.
Yes.
That Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson are more middle of the road. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can, like I imagine there's plenty of people who can listen to both, but some would turn off Shapiro if they heard it like that.
Some conservatives would even turn off.
Yes,
Ben
well,
Shapiro.
I haven't listened to Shapiro in years. This is so funny.
bitches, you know? They're putting stuff in the water to make the frogs gay.
It's gotta be
They're making
fake.
everything gay, you know? Freaking, especially being here in LA, like I wish I was in fucking Dallas. Yeah, usually crypto has its ups and downs, right? There's cycles.
It's literally every trope that women hate.
Finance bros.
Yes.
Crypto bros.
Rogan bros.
All wrapped up into one. And he's a fan of Alex Jones, clearly.
The only thing that could be funnier is if then he said, and Christopher Nolan is the greatest filmmaker of all time.
Yeah, he starts mansplaining Oppenheimer.
He's like, look, you just didn't get it. It's fine. You're a woman. You wouldn't understand the importance of Oppenheimer. You don't get it.
17 where it has a bull run and then it drops completely. When it's in the shitter, when no one's really thinking about it, that's when you invest heavily into it.
Of course.
I was early on it.
to be honest. I was 17.
You make music.
I'm kind of on the fence that like it was like it's better if it was to sell an album.
No, that's okay. Before we like start this fourth one, that's what I think this possibly could be, because it's all a little bit too perfect. This girl's TikTok account is mainly talking about dating, doing crazy dating stories. She makes videos where she's like, here's the top 10 things to say to a guy on a date to piss him off. Or like, here's how to trick a guy into buying you a drink. And then for her to have this happen to her, it's all a little too perfect, and it might be a coordinated thing with like a friend of hers to sell his song.
Yeah.
Like get streams for his song, Snow Bunny Hunter.
Or maybe he saw her account prior to going on a date with her and he's trolling her.
Maybe.
That'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
We aren't having too much chemistry on this date. So I bought you like 2 glasses of wine. Let's split the check. Yeah, let's split the check. If we do have another date, I'll cover you, or if I'm actually dating you, I'll cover the bill and everything like that. But
what a
if
gentleman.
you want to come hang out at the crib, like
Margs and chill.
Yeah, if you want to Margs and chill
or something, then I'll cover it completely. Yeah.
We can split it. It's all good. We'll split it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think he's trolling. I think he found.
Do you think she's in on it?
No. Maybe not.
No? Then she made 2 recap videos where she says this guy found out she posted this all over TikTok. He's getting texts from people saying like, is this you in the video? And he is denying it, or he's ignoring it because he's
not
very
trolling.
embarrassed.
He's embarrassed. He's like, look, all of that was true. I don't like Shapiro. I lied about Shapiro.
Yeah.
I don't like Shapiro.
I haven't been trying to like edge you guys with it. I just had to collect my thoughts over the last 3 days because there's been so much other shit that has happened.
I can't stand the talking while doing makeup thing.
It's kind of the
For
thing.
a little
on
context,
TikTok,
I met him out at a club one night. Why I thought I could find love in the club, especially in LA, don't fucking ask. Like, we had a lot of mutuals, and so
In the chat, DCNC says Snow Bunny Hunter to #1.
Snow Bunny Hunter to the moon.
I was like, how bad could it really be? Bitch, how bad could it be? As bad as it could be. And it's the fact that all of you are trying to figure out if it's satire or not. I was sitting there the entire fucking date, like in real life, being like, is this satire? Like, is he performing a bit right now? But the text I got today, I don't think it was a bit. I'm gonna show you guys the text that I got today and the 17 phone calls because it was absolutely insane. But a lot of you were a little disappointed in how I reacted to him because I make all of the how to piss off shitty men videos. I was flabbergasted, so taken back.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to check it out and see if this is that.
It's a real song.
Ooh. It's freaking cold outside, man.
The PSYOP is working on us.
Holy shit, what is that? I'm a snow bunny hunter.
It's kind of good. It's kind of catchy.
I love them White House. They got the best of. She got a mani petty. Hey, she ready? Let me fuck ya. Her name Mariah, not the singer.
Sorry. Okay, we'll come back to the video. You can go find that on YouTube, guys, if you want to. This is not a paid advertisement. This is not an advertisement for Snow Bunny
I
Hunter.
couldn't even get the fucking words out. Like, I couldn't get a word out. I knew that this was gonna happen. I knew he was bound to see it because even I've been getting text all fucking day for the past 2 days, like, oh my god, like, is this real? Who is it? So I like there's like 2 other texts before this, like, Kindle, pick up the phone. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Why would you post our date on fucking TikTok? People are texting me saying they recognize my voice, but this is fucked, bro. I'm in the industry out here. And you're ruining my rep. I'm deeply hurt that I'm painted in such a bad light when I'm such a genuine and spiritual person deep down. I only said those things because I felt that you would feel the same way. That is fucking wild. Also, like I said, I quite literally had like 17 phone calls. I'm so blown away by this. Just listen.
Hey, Kendall.
I'm not even gonna talk.
I'm just kind of upset, you know? I
Who could blame
thought
him?
that we were having a good time. And yeah, maybe the date didn't end on such a good note and everything like that, but I shared those things with you because I felt that you would be, we'd have commonalities there, you know? And then we can maybe become a partnership.
Literally everything he listed is guy stuff and has nothing to do with women.
I thought you would feel the same way about Jordan Peterson, Kendall.
You would be, we'd have commonalities there, you know? And then we can maybe become a partnership, or we can build a life together later on. And I'm just hurt you shared something so intimate and private, a date, publicly.
I actually do think that it's
this is
effed up
real,
that she shared the date with him. Also, that she shared the phone calls with him. But the moment that he sent her that message, he lost all power in the back and forth.
The voice notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave up. He would have been better off just ignoring it.
I'm thinking,
or leaning into it.
If this happened to me, I probably would record it. I probably would like send it to people I know, but I would not post it on social media. And I would definitely tell people about it, but I wouldn't post it on TikTok or whatever. Like, that is kind of messed up, and people feel like they can share things like that all the time. I see girls recording dates they're on all the time.
California is a 2-party consent state, but if this was a voicemail, I guess that wouldn't be the same thing, right?
Don't know.
This isn't her recording a phone call. This is
No.
her recording a voice note, so it wouldn't be the same thing. I don't know. It'd be funny if he sues her, though. and then he puts he puts all his money into Snow Bunny Hunter version 2, like part 2.
He could sue for damage to his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
So
find.
it hurt his reputation in the industry.
His name is Lil Butters. I'm not kidding you.
Lil Butters.
That's what it says here. Lil Butters.
All right.
It's
and her contact name for him in her phone is "Do not reply, Butters."
There you go. There you go. I don't know. Like, my favorite part here is people in the chat. In the chat are kind of going back and forth about whether this was serious or not. Like, if it's serious, he is the most prototypical. Like, if you imagined a bro in 2023, that's him. Like, he did not have an original thought in his head.
Even bros deserve love.
Yep.
You know.
And nor should he be shamed.
Deserve a chance.
Nor should bros be shamed for having cringy views. Look, if they did so in the context of trying to find love from a girl who loves bros.
Like, it just feels like girls are allowed to endlessly make fun of the stereotypes of guys in dating, but when it's the other way around, you're being a bitter incel. Like, if you go on Tinder, I'm sure as a guy, you swipe and it's dog moms, it's The Office, it's like all of that. And it's very repetitive because almost nobody is original and has original thought and original interests. Like, there aren't many unique people out there in the dating world. And but you only see girls recording themselves on dates to dunk on these guys.
Yeah, in the chat, somebody says if girls can like Taylor Swift, guys can like Joe Rogan. Absolutely.
If girls can go on dates and blab to guys about how much they like The Office and how much they like Friends and how much they like Taylor Swift.
Wait, is that woman-splaining?
Probably. Then, I mean, it's only fair, right?
Oh, dude, this is kind of deep. Hot Rod says, dude bros are people too.
Yeah.
They are. That's absolutely true. Like, it's rough out here, man, when you're trying to find love. And this woman is just like recording you. Like that part does like I said, the thing that bothers me is like above and beyond all of the ridiculous things that were said is that if he's actually serious and whether I think it's kind of cringy or not, I shouldn't know because I shouldn't have been privy to this information.
I really hope that in reality they're dating. Like, they're actually a real life couple or they're friends in real life, and this was all just a ploy to get people to listen to his song.
It's so much better if that's what's happening.
I looked up like more about this girl, and she's had other articles written about her and her TikToks. This one says,
she seems like
reveals,
vindictive. She seems vindictive.
This says, woman reveals how she tricks men into buying her drinks at the bar using a secret reverse psychology method that she claims works 99% of the time.
Just because the dude sounds cringy does not mean that this lady is not insufferable.
She also has like a picture of her on her Instagram where she's wearing a t-shirt that says, I heart lying. Like, she's not exactly
like, she doesn't look like a good person.
Yeah, like she's kind of the what is it? A femosphere woman.
She seems very vapid.
If the manosphere is that guy, she's kind of the femosphere.
Yeah.
Womanosphere. Yeah. So maybe she doesn't really bat higher than that.
I don't know, man. It's like there's something vindictive about her. Like maybe it's because I hate the women putting makeup on when they do this type of stuff. But it's the like what you see here is the definition of toxic femininity. Because if this was just because I could easily see this girl doing this to a guy who just says some stuff she doesn't like, not just a guy who's ridiculous and saying stuff like this, which comes off as comical.
I mean, at least he's entertaining.
Yep.
To talk to.
I hope he finds love before her.
I would have found that date extremely entertaining, and that would be a story I tell for years. So.
But that's it.
My first song,
You would
it's called Snow
tell
Bunny
you would
Hunter.
tell your friends. You wouldn't tell TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem with all this stuff. He bought like he maybe it really was. She's like, look, I wasn't going to share any of this, and then he said we got to split the check, and she was pissed.
No one is safe out here.
Yep. All right, let's go to Super Chats.
King New Jersey said Annie S is not a simp. I work out with him in PVC, Florida.
Who are we talking about?
Was it the
Arnie?
TikToker?
Arnie.
No, it says ANIE.
Oh.
I don't know. Carnell said happy Friday, PCC crisis actors and lurkers in chat. Hope you all have a great weekend. My birthday is Sunday. Can I get a Brett recommends? Happy early birthday.
Well, let me.
You have anything here?
Let me consult.
Yes, your notes are readily available.
What would be something good that you would want to check out? Oh, I guess I should go by like what I've been watching. I've been watching Deadwood. I would highly recommend Deadwood. Yeah, I would say if you have HBO Max, I'll never get used to just calling it Max.
Just keep calling it HBO
Max. Otherwise, see if you can find. Well, how about you, Mary? Why don't you're watching Psych right now? I would recommend Psych. I think Psych is.
But everyone's seen that. I can't recommend something
doesn't
that
necessarily mean they've necessarily seen it.
I feel like everyone has seen Psych, and it's good.
Yeah. So those are. I really think that everybody should watch Deadwood, especially given that westerns have now. They're attempting to make a comeback, but if you want to watch a more honest Western, other than the like I would like somebody to know, like in the show Deadwood takes place in like what I don't know if the term cocksucker was around back then. Yes, I just said it on air.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
But they say it they said it's said like hundreds of times. I don't know if that term existed back then.
Tacti Plati said I haven't seen Psych.
There
That's
you go.
surprising. I just feel like everyone's seen it before. But you should. Yeah. Hiroshima Otaru said Wikipedia has long been a far-left institution.
We're also getting close to a third crisis party. I would like a third Oh, there's a $20 one there from Potatoes for Seamus, who I have not seen in a while in the chat.
Yeah.
My friend says, Brett, keep your hair just the way it is. And could we possibly get Mary in a Snow Bunny music video moderating a Olivia Claire and Hannah Claire debate on who the real Claire is?
Would this music video also be the debate?
So like if it's a debate, like if it's a snow, does that mean you're wearing like a bunny costume?
I do not.
Or
wanna be
just by being a
associated with
white
that
woman,
song.
it's just by being a white woman, you're a snow bunny.
Are all white women snow bunnies?
Or are all snow bunnies?
You know, I thought that it referred to white women that specifically date non-white men, right?
I just thought it was. Is that what that term is for? Maybe.
I don't know. We'd have to ask.
Also, we have
to ask Lil Butters.
I need
for
to
a
know what that
definition.
guy looks like because he sounded white as hell.
He did.
Like, you know.
He definitely sounded like a white Californian dude. DC and C said, wait, what is this? Burnt? Is this your name now? Burnt?
Ugh.
Roddy Piper in They Live or Hogan in Suburban Commando?
I understand that the proper answer is probably Roddy Piper and They Live, but I love Suburban Commando, so it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I actually remember the ad for Suburban Commando more than I remember the actual movie now that I think about it, because the ad used to play before a bunch of movies that I owned at that time. So I'm going with Hogan, Suburban Commando. But if I had to choose any of them more than anything, one of the things that I find is funny is like, okay, so here we go. Back to Carnell's chat. Watch Chuck if you never got around to seeing the show Chuck. One of the reasons I mention is because Stone Cold Steve Austin, who played one of the bad guys in the first Expendables movie, also has a really funny, like, 2-episode cameo arc in Chuck, which was one of these shows that would have all of these random non-actor actors, like Nicole Richie shows up in an episode, Paris Hilton shows up in an episode. All of these like people that were like famous at the time, but not necessarily actors, showed up in it.
Cameo actors.
I also like. There's a show, and I understand that it probably would appeal less to. There's a show called Rizzoli and Isles, which came out in like the 2010s, right? And I recommend this show because it would be impossible to be made today because they would be gay.
It's queer baiting.
It would be. It was literally famous for that, right? That the show was wanted her and Moira to get together the whole show, and they don't do it. They actually pay it off in the end by saying that they go to France together, which is, I guess, supposed to be like some type of.
Is that a wink and a
nod? It's a wink and a nod. But the fact that the show got through 7 seasons without making them gay. They just wouldn't have the self-control to do that today. And I thought and here's the thing. I, as you know, wouldn't have a problem with that other than the fact that I think it would ruin the storytelling because they were so good as friends in the show. So I don't have a problem with them making gay characters. I have a problem with them taking a perfectly good female friendship and doing that for the sake of the audience.
Did either of them date in the show?
Oh yeah, men.
Okay.
All the time. In that show, Moira's famous for just all the men like either try to kill her or like there's an episode where literally like a guy tries to like turn her into a plaster sculpture.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the show was great, and it wouldn't be made today. So that's on Max as well. It would probably appeal more to like a female demographic, even though it is a cop show.
Like the closer.
Yes,
the closer is definitely a female.
But the closer spun off into Major Crimes, which is great for everyone.
Yeah,
everyone can love Major Crimes. And the funny thing is, all those actors came back. Those are like the same. You know that thing they talk about like Disney having their scam about how they like get people to renegotiate contracts by changing the name of the show slightly.
Yeah.
The closer just becomes Major Crimes, and almost all the cast member comes back.
Brenda isn't the star of it.
No, but the rest of the actors
come back.
Brenda
isn't in it. That's the point. It's officially a spin-off.
Yeah.
Disney does that keeping the same exact cast.
Well, I'm saying, but the rest of the cast are still the same actors.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's great. Guys, I want a third Crisis Party.
Sexy Nate said, I was friends with that kid's older brother. Wait, what kid? We always joked that his mom was banging Arnold. He literally had a dimpled chin and a barrel chest at 5 or 6.
So that's his Arnold.
Wait, the housekeeper?
I guess.
What? That's kind of crazy. Shane H. Wilder said, Arnie isn't saying anything that hasn't been said more eloquently since time immemorial.
He's absolutely correct. Like when we watch it, I'm like, wow, this is like a throwback to a previous generation.
Potatoes for Seamus said, everyone wish Mary happy birthday and Brett a good Monday.
Look, I don't like this gaslighting from all of the toxic narcissists.
I'll pretend it's my birthday.
There you go.
That's fine.
At least it's not a birthday month.
John Stewart said, I grew up near Mennonites that worked for a logging company. They would ride in modern vehicles and use power tools for work, but not in their own home lives.
Interesting.
Yeah. DC&C said, Brettio. Did they have regular roller skates at the roller rink when you were a kid? Or had Rollerblade Inc. already taken over?
Funnily enough, the company Rollerblade is actually started in the state of Minnesota, where I'm from. Old people used roller skates. Kids my age, we used rollerblades. I didn't start. I had rollerblade brand rollerblades, but I'll share a picture maybe on my. There's a picture of me from like when I got my first pair of skates, and I was very, 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 very tiny. I was just a wee little lad.
You showed me your senior photo this morning.
Well, that one I'm not sharing.
You're not going to show that one.
That one doesn't get shared with anyone. That one forever stays in the vault. That is for sure. But here, I'll see if I can. Literally, rollerblades were already a thing back then, so it wasn't a huge deal. But the old people would wear roller skates. Here, I'll put this up on screen for the people watching. They can laugh at this photo. Okay. Just how young was Brett when he started skating.
It has that sepia tone.
Yep.
To it.
Yeah, I was. That's me in black. If you're wondering, that's. I was very young when that came out. So I was on ice skates almost before I could walk. So yes.
Daniel G has a question for you, Brett. Brett, how did our generation that endured years of Christian white mom hysteria grow up to be even more reactive, mouth-breathing slugs?
Because at that time the Christian white mom hysteria came from the right, which was not the center of counterculture. The left was the center of counterculture at that time, so they would push back on it in the art and the entertainment that the kids loved. Now the complaining is coming from the side where all of the entertainment that used to at one time be a bit subversive, it's all coming from the same side now. So it makes the voices twice as loud. And and the people pushing back aren't called like back then. Like if you were on the left, right, and the moms are saying you're gonna turn into Satanists if you listen to Marilyn Manson. The people on the left, look, they were part of mainstream, record labels. Marilyn Manson's part of a mainstream record label, and all this stuff coming out is still getting pushed by these large companies, right? Now, the people pushing back on it might have financial backing, but not at the same level of infrastructure that they had back then.
Shane H. Wilder said, please say this is fake. Dude is literally a walking trope. If this is legit, dude, seek help.
Who am I to judge? Like, it does. Let's just say, like, he lists off so many separate, like, tropes of the industry. Like, when he said, like, I wasn't really buying it in general, but when he said they're turning the frogs gay, I'm like, this has to be a bit.
Yeah, that definitely jumped the shark for me.
Yeah.
Otis Crinkle?
I don't know if you want to say that one.
Okay.
Arnold's housekeeper got sperminated.
Well, if you want to say it.
I figured you didn't want to say it.
Okay. Potatoes for Seamus.
I did that one.
Okay. Quite Blackpilled said Psych is absolute fire. Wish they had Sean get pissed off more. The Yang Killer episodes were the best. Have a good weekend, y'all.
I go back and forth. Like those, like Psych and Monk are the ones that I liked but didn't love as much as other people did. But I do like them. But a lot of people have very, very fond, strong memories for both of those shows. Oddly enough, I like Corbin Berenson as the dad more than the two main characters most of the time. Like I love the dad in that show.
Yeah. High Voltage 75 said, was the guest someone new or someone we've seen before?
It was somebody new.
Someone new. Hopefully we'll get to reschedule them. Potatoes for Seamus said, I want to see Brett and Mary become Amish for a day with an Aussie accent, of course. And Brett, we want your senior pictures now.
No.
Are there Australian Amish people? Doubt it. Doubt it. There are more Mormons in like New Zealand and Australia, I thought.
I didn't know that.
Hiroshima Otaru said, according to Edom Online, that word, which I won't say, came about in the 1890s.
Okay, so it was okay. It's kind of like when I pointed out in the scenes in the show Warrior that they were wearing stockings before they existed. I was like, this is the horrors back then were not wearing this, I said.
We've got a $20 one from Robert Steinhauer. I think Chuck may be my favorite show. I've watched it through more than once. It hits a lot of the genres, sci-fi, action, comedy, drama, with lots of pop culture references. Great show.
It is maybe one of the best master classes in the ability to mix, because a lot of the shows that I like that are called dramedies are mostly drama, like light drama with some humor built into the script, right? But the show Chuck goes back and forth between actual dramatic moments and genuine slapstick humor, like right down to the sound effects, like when they're doing martial arts and you hear like boom pow type, like they don't say boom pow, but like you hear like ridiculous sound effect. Yeah.
No punch sounds like that.
Like it's so good, and it really does play into all of those tropes, and the characters are all so likable. That's the best part, right? Like I used to find the show kind of one note until I went and rewatched it, and you see a guy who wants to be useful. He wants to be a government spy, but at the beginning, he doesn't want that, right? He just wants to go back to his regular life, but then he grows to really love what he's doing. It's a great show. And oddly enough, the Sarah Walker character it's the prototypical girl boss in every sense of the imagination. She can beat up guys twice her size. But at the same time, she does lose fights, and she's emotionally vulnerable on a regular basis, which you wouldn't see as much of these days. And let's face it, Casey Affleck as Casey is the best part. He's really the greatest character in the show.
Potatoes for Seamus said, bad app, I'm not reading that.
There you go.
Real ones remember.
Thank you, guys.
It's party time.
Thank you, guys. Woo!
Nathan Koss said, going hiking this weekend. If I don't comment Monday, it means 45 ACP can't stop a charging bear and someone needs to wipe my hard drive.
I got you, bro.
DCNC said, which chair was the better guest today? I really feel like chair to my left is more at the ready.
I'm kind of annoyed with how blasé chair to my left is being today. It's kind of rude, if you ask me.
Yeah, I was kind of slacking today. Shane H. Wilder said, how did the chair enjoy today's show?
He's still very much at attention right now.
Yes.
Enjoying the show. So they seem very happy. All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video? Would you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Thank you very much for that. Remember to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime a new episode of this show goes up. That is Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, if you want to follow me, it's at Brett Dasovic on both Instagram and Twix. This show is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you would like to listen to the audio version of this podcast, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, wherever fine podcasts are sold. If you'd like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at @popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. What's
the
up?
Instagram, by the way, I keep forgetting to mention this, is getting dangerously close to 10K. We're at 9,926. If you don't follow it yet, go do that and get us to 10K. We will celebrate when that happens.
Perfect.
Pizza party.
Oh my God. I never need a reason for a pizza party, but let's freaking go. Let's do this. All right, guys, we will be back with another episode on Monday. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Later. Post-credit scene, ladies and gentlemen, and with 76% of the vote, you all think that Donald Trump would be able to take Taylor Swift in a presidential election. High Voltage 75, I imagine the Swifties will be stopped this weekend by the Minnesota Vikings. We'll be back with another episode on Monday, guys. See you then.